What's happening, people? It's time for What the Fuck Wednesday. You know what? I updated drivers on my computer, and now everything looks. I'm gonna have to get somebody to fix what I messed up. This is terrible. But yeah, I hope it's displaying okay on your end, because on mine it looks all kinds of jacked up. We're gonna hope that it's a one-way issue, and just go on with the show. Welcome to What the Fuck Wednesday. I had to move it from yesterday because I got an eye exam. You know how they dilate your eyes and you can't read. And I was thinking about it. I was like, that might pose a challenge since I have to read the questions and then respond to them right there. That's not going to work. So I moved it to today to give my eyes time to recoup from their adventure at the ophthalmologist. Today we have, it looks like, let me just double check here. Yep, 26 questions. I just wanted to verify that. 26 questions for those of you who like to keep track. What we do on this show is people submit their questions in advance. I read them and I think about it and then I give an answer. That's the process. So those of you who wrote in, please listen to what I have to say, but also take a minute to follow along in the chat stream because they very often have some really good insight as well. I mean, they may just talk about you real bad, but I mean, that's always a chance that you take when you write to this show. We don't promise that your feelings are not going to get hurt, okay? But there are brave souls that write anyway, and so there you go. That's part of the fun. Let me go over here and see. Hey, everybody. Hey. Oh, look at this. Why is it showing up? Okay, I'm not even gonna bother about it because I messed up my computer so bad. I don't know what I did, but we'll just leave it alone. Oh, Australia's in the house. See, there's somebody in here from Korea or something a couple of months ago. That was real interesting. I don't know, was she up in the middle of the night or something? It was crazy because I know their time is way different than ours. So you guys ready to get started? We got 26 questions, so we may as well get started. Anybody, you guys are welcome to put your comments in the chat stream about what the question is, or if you have any suggestions for a good answer, just pop it on in there. Let's go and watch your language. She will be reminding you, but you guys watch what you say, and we don't allow you to start attacking the other commenters either. That's a no go here. Name calling, all that kind of stuff. We don't do that here. So the worst it gets, I might call somebody a dummy, but they knew they were dumb. That's what they wrote for the advice columnist to somebody on the internet. So that's not a surprise. But I don't want you guys attacking each other. Okay. Question number one. This is a young man in the 28 to 34 age group. He's an Aries. He's African American from Los Angeles, California. Summary of issue. My girlfriend tells too much of my business to her parents. Yo, Deb, what the hell is going on with my girlfriend? A good friend of mine died, unfortunately, from an overdose. He was a kind guy, but in a lot of pain, and that's how he chose to deal with it. My girlfriend's parents are very close-minded about addictions. They are deemed those people that are, quote, bad and want to stay away from them. She says they had addiction in her family, so it's like a trauma for them. In any case, I told her parents I'm going to my friend's funeral, but I didn't provide many details about him. I told them that he died from an overdose, but didn't get into details because I know, as my girlfriend told me, that they would, quote, judge me for having such friends. I do not regret having him as a friend. It's quite the opposite, actually. However, my girlfriend decided to run and tell them everything. I mean, she went into all kinds of detail that he was a drug addict, etc., etc. I'm extremely uncomfortable and I got mad. I think he was part of my life, and if I decide to tell 30% of the story, then it's my decision, not hers. When I told her this today and I got mad, she told me that I'm gaslighting her, and she basically left while in the middle of us grocery shopping. Thoughts? How do I deal with this? Yeah, see, well, let's rewind to this. First of all, why? Okay, let's talk about people's business. Your friend's business that he was an addict and stuff, that was his business. But yet, did that stop you from running your mouth and telling her? You even told her parents that he died of an overdose. So, see, the one who started this ball of open mouth and telling everybody's business was you, sir. She just picked it up where you left it off. If you didn't want nobody to know that your friend was addicted to drugs, you should have shut up. You know, see, that was his business. If he wanted your girl and her parents to know that he had an addiction problem, he would have told them himself. But no, here you go. You was the one who did that. So you set yourself up for that by having a big mouth. There's no reason this world for you to tell her parents that your friend died of an overdose. All you had to tell her parents, if you even told them anything at all, was that a friend of yours died and that you were going to feel. And then they would have been like, well, what did he die of? And say, well, I don't know. Everybody dies of something. So pick one. That's all you had to say. I used to say that to people at work all the time because they just nosy as hell and want to know, all the oh, your friend died, your uncle, what did they die from? I mean, I guess, maybe some people just never learned as children to shut up and not ask inappropriate questions. But, my dad would shut that shit down right real quick. I just say, well, just everybody dies of something. Ain't nobody over in the graveyard just on an accident. So, you kind of like circumvent the question. So they're sitting there looking at you and you use a whole bunch of words, brother style. You use a whole bunch of words and you don't really ever answer their question. You just dizzy them with lingo. And then you walk away. And they still never know what the person died from. As a matter of fact, by the time I get through, they're not even sure that the person is dead. They may just be trying to play hooky and use a funeral as an excuse. But the bottom line is, um, sir, if you don't want people to know your business, you don't tell your friend's business. When you don't tell your friend's business, they won't tell yours. It's a pact. But you violated that. You expose your friend to everything. Your girl has got a big mouth. I don't know what you was thinking. So this is the end result. So there's really nothing much you can do. Y'all just gonna have to bury the hatchet here. And I hope you learned a very valuable lesson, which is don't go tell her or her parents nothing about your friends or your family or your personal affairs. Okay? You're supposed to be a grown man. You don't need to be mouthing off telling them all your business like that. Learn to edit what you tell other people. It will come in very handy as you go through life. Okay? Everybody don't need to know everything. Remember that. Question number 2, female 50 to 56. She's from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. European descent. And the male in question is in the 42 to 49 age group. Summary of issue, all of these phone addicts, she says. Deb, I love you and your show. Thank you for all that you do. Oh, you're so welcome. That's so sweet. I am wanting to meet new people and be more social. I am happily single and not really looking for a relationship. Just casual friendships, maybe some eggplant. The people I meet seem unable to be anywhere without their phone. I've gone for coffee, for ice cream, shopping, and right away the phone gets pulled out. I can't have a normal conversation. They are looking at their phone every 2 minutes. There is no emergency or children involved. Should I state before I make plans with them my feelings about their phone, or just leave them when they bring out their phone? If you're dating somebody and all you're looking for is some eggplant, well, then you get the eggplant and then you don't worry about the rest, right? But if you're looking for something more, then what I would do. I wouldn't really. You don't want to put yourself in a position to try to dictate what other people do. What you could say is, when I've been on dates before, I find that people seem to have a real problem. It's like their phone is surgically implanted or something. And it's very difficult to interact with them and communicate because they're always looking at their phone. It's like, how do you have a conversation with someone sitting right across the table from you if your head is always down looking at your phone? So you pose that question, right? I like to do leading questions, especially when I'm dealing with men. I don't want to tell them what to do. I'm just going to lead them down the road of death and destruction. Okay. So then they sit there, right, and they start thinking about it like, that's what I do. Oh, no. And so if he's a smart guy and he want to advance things so he gets that eggplant stuff going on, he's going to turn his phone off and put it away. If he's stupid, then he's going to stay on his phone or he's going to get defensive about your position, right? He's going to get defensive. He tell you why he must, like he's, the president, or he's like, the lead surgeon, neurological surgeon at some big hospital, and he's on call and he's just barely squeezing in a minute for you. Or, he's some great politician and, there's about to be a war. Somebody might press the red button or something, call on the red phone. And so he must be available. Since none of those are happening, you're just dealing with some people that's stupid. They have no social graces and no manners. And that's something I had noticed too. I told my mother that. This was probably about 7 or 8 years ago, maybe even longer. that we went out one time, right? My daughter and I, we all talking and giggling and stuff, and she's showing us stuff. She's drawing little pictures with the crayons. So we're interacting, and we're noticing around us, especially the tables that had young people. So your age group is kind of old for this kind of behavior. These are like people, teens and 20s. And there's like 4 or 5 of them, right? Every single one of them, they're sitting at a table together. They're out to eat together, but each one of them had their head down, looking at their phones and, texting or on social media or something like that. It was just the most weird interaction. So they rarely spoke to each other the whole time we was watching them. And I'm like, what kind of, this is just a new society where people just don't use words. Notice how many letters come through here where people are mad because people don't respond to their texts versus just picking up the phone and calling somebody and saying what you got to say. It's like the young people just don't even understand that the phone can make and receive calls. It's not just for texting. Pearl clutching moment. But it's just real interesting how things have changed. And I've noticed about that, what is associated with that is complete lack of ability to have these kind of conversations, to make small talk, to be witty and engaging. They don't know. It's becoming a lost art. And so when you see all these young people, all they know how to do is text, and they even talk the way that they text. It's the most bizarre thing. So you're sitting there, and so you say something funny, right? And a normal person would laugh, like they're gonna laugh. What these kids say? Lol, which is LOL. Okay, I'm just telling you what I've noticed and how bizarre it is. So if you're a young man or a young woman and you out there and you recognize yourself in this conversation, pull yourself up short and sit down with your elders and learn how to hold a damn conversation. Because you're gonna not the people that your peers right now are not gonna be the ones signing your paychecks. Okay, these are gonna be older people that's already established. You need to be able to talk to them. They need to be able to talk to you. You're going to, have mentors and stuff. You have to be able to have a conversation with these people. They're not going to text you. I just, it's just the most bizarre. It's just bizarre. And it's, lol. Who does that? It's so stupid. Anyway, let's move on. So anyway, that's how I would suggest you approach this in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Question number 3. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group. She says she's white European. The male in question is 28 to 34. And I know some people had written me, why do you ask race? It's completely voluntary field. Okay, it's not mandatory. But sometimes when people are talking about interracial and intercultural relationships, the ethnic background of the people is very important. If they are from a culture other than the United States, it may have some bearing as well because they're different customs than what we have here. Their society is different. So that is why that field was added. It had, it's completely voluntary. Nobody is forced to fill it in, but some people volunteer that information because they want me to have a certain view of where they're coming from and what they're up against, and so they share that information, right? So I just wanted people to know that because a couple people were asking, like, and they had an attitude. Okay, so summary of issue. He wants me to lie to his new girlfriend. The names have been changed to protect the guilty, she writes. One of my closest friends is a 28-year-old guy. I'm 25. Recently, he asked me not to talk about the few months we dated around his new girlfriend. Quote, Sean, in quotes, and I have been friends for over 3 years. We first met at work and were each other's first friends in London. He and I got very close quickly and dated for around 3 months when we first met. He was tempestuous because we have very different personalities, but we care about each other deeply. The ending of our dating was quite rough, but over the years we worked really hard to build up our friendship with proper boundaries and respect, and I am so proud of it. He's seen multiple people since, and so have I. Our relationship is purely platonic, but we are close and both look out for each other. He recently got into a serious relationship, and although it's only been a few months, he thinks she might be the one, and I'm very happy for him. However, he hasn't told her that we used to date, only that we've been friends, and now has asked me when I meet her for the first time to not acknowledge or talk about the fact that we were together. He's apparently told her all about me. I don't want to lie to her, but even though I don't know her, but I don't want to hurt him if he thinks this is serious. He is pretty adamant that if she finds out, she will leave him. I think the relationship seems very unhealthy, but I don't want to get in the middle of it and make it worse. I'm also so sad that he might even feel ashamed of our friendship. Of course, it's up to him to really work out what he needs to do. I just hate the position I've been put in. I also don't want to make a big deal out of the fact that we just dated, but it was an experience that is foundational to our friendship. Any advice would be appreciated. Yes, this is a case of, just like I told the young man earlier, keeping your big mouth closed. Okay, now, first of all, on the first date, you first meet this woman, what person in their right mind, okay, ladies, keep this in mind, because if this is you, then you got some issues and you need to check yourself. You're going to go up to the girl that you've been knowing for years, and you're going to ask her on the first time you meet her now, oh, were you and him ever together? Did you date? Who's going to do that? It might be a burning question in your mind. But the bottom line is, why? What difference does it make? Whether they dated, was married and divorced, like hillbilly cousins, related. I mean, what the difference does it make if you with them now? Why are you going to worry about the past? Now, the thing that would bother me about this, though, him wanting you to lie, what you should do is just tell him, look, if she asks me anything like that, I'm going to refer her back to you because I don't want to lie to her and I'm not lying to cover for you. You're going to handle all the lying here because it's your relationship and it's your woman. So if she comes and asks you something like that, you just deflect, Deb style. You say, oh my God, what would make you think to ask me something like that? Notice that? Did I give her an answer? Did I answer her question? I just answered her question with another question, right? Brother style. Why are you asking me that? I don't know nothing about that. But you're not going to say it. You're just going to say, well, that's such an odd question. And then so you kind of embarrass her because she's going to feel stupid after you say, that's an odd question to ask. It's like, well, we're just friends, which is true. That is all you are now. So it's not like you're really lying. It's just leaving out details that he should be providing to her, not to you. I mean, that's not your job. So you gonna dance around this, and like I said, you come up with some evasive questions to fire back at her. Like, that's so odd. I mean, why would you ask me that? That's so strange. I mean, have you all been in a situation where you had a boyfriend and he had somebody he used to dated, and that's what was happening? Is that the story? I would be so talking so many loop-de-loop conversations and questions around her, she wouldn't know what happened. But one thing I'm not gonna do is put myself in somebody else's relationship. I'm not ever gonna do that. Now, if they write to me here, then I will. But of course, you want me to. But in a situation like that, he already put the barriers up and told you he don't want you to. And the only thing that would happen, if any lies will be told, they will be told to him by her. I mean, her by him, not by me. I'm not getting that. I wouldn't lie for my own cousin, so I'm not gonna lie for some little raggedy friend. I mean, it's nice that y'all friends. Don't get me wrong, but for him to even ask you to do something like that, it's just wrong. So I'd be giving him all kind of side eye, like, what's really going on here. Yeah, don't be complicit in his game. But, like, likewise, you're not going to let her put that hat on you. Yeah, I'm not going to lie for you. I didn't lie for my cousin. I just said, you better pray your husband don't call here. Because I wasn't going to reach out to tell him. I'm not going to be the tattletale, right? But if he called and asked me where she was, I'll be like, I don't know. Because I didn't. But she lied and told him that she was with me. But I would be like, I don't know where she is. Well, she said she was with you. Well, obviously she's not. Anything else I can do for you? I told her that's how it was going to go down. And she was so mad. She stayed mad at me for a couple of years. But you know what? She didn't use me for the cover for her not lies no more. And that's all I wanted. So I won. Question number 4, female, 22 to 27. She's African American from Charlotte, North Carolina. Summary of issue. How to let go of the extreme hate I have towards the quote other quote woman. I swear I want to pimp slap this heifer. She knew I was pregnant and she even planned to be at my shower. She was my man's close friend. She sat across from me and smiled at me. When I discovered that they were hooking up behind my back, she only cared about me not blasting on social media and trying to get him to get me to delete their messages while I was in hysterics and pregnant over the discovery. She tried to lie to say nothing was going on even when I had screenshots. Not sorry for breaking up a family. I replay in my mind how she sent me a paragraph gaslighting me, throwing him under the bus to save herself, and claiming that she cares about me, my partner, and my child. I wish I would have told her off so bad. All I said was to stop with her lies. I sent her screenshots of my proof, called her actions beyond disgusting for even planning to attend my shower, and told her to never text my phone again, and then I blocked her. I also uninvited her friend from my shower, and told her that if her friend shows up near my shower or my baby, that she will be dealt with accordingly. I don't know why I wish I would have blasted her on the internet, sent the screenshots to friends, and called her every name in the book. Don't get me wrong, I'm angry at both of them. I have said everything I had to say to him plus more. Yes, I'm mad at my child's father. I kicked him to the curb because his loyalty was to me. But I also want to work on forgetting her because I can't forget him. He will always be in my life. She has too much power over me. Deb, I think of them together in my dreams and how she sat across from me knowing she wanted my partner. I can't even look at my gender reveal photos anymore as she was sitting across from me. If she didn't know about me and me being pregnant, this wouldn't even be an issue. I give birth this month and this hate is eating me alive. I am currently in therapy. This happened less than 2 months ago. I can't live like this. Well, it's good that you're in therapy. It's good that you're in therapy, and you're not going to like what I have to say, but I'm going to give you a reality check. You didn't have a family. You had some nigga that you was fucking, okay? You let yourself get pregnant by some dusty bum. Then you want to be putting all these rules and regulations and control freak methods on somebody that you wasn't married to. See, I'm telling you, you ain't married, you're single. So, I mean, in my mind, he didn't do nothing to you. You did it to yourself. Because you single, you shouldn't have been pregnant. And like you said, if you wasn't pregnant, then none of this would matter. And guess what? So that means what when you go through all of the math here, it means all the problems that you having right now, you brought them on yourself. You did that by not keeping your birth control game tight and getting pregnant by a dusty man that you wasn't married to. I'm so furious at you right now. My voice is shaking. I'm so mad. You mad at this girl? I'm mad at you. I'm mad at you because you did this damn shit to yourself. You fucked up your life, your child's life, and everything else because you couldn't just wait until you had a husband and a proper situation with proper commitment to bring a child into this world. You're going to be breeding willy nilly with some clown. You see, he can't even keep it in his pants 9 months. And you affiliating with some trifling bitches. And this the kind of shit you're going to be having around in your house and around your kids? Girl, I'm so mad at you right now. I just could reach to this computer and choke the shit out of you. I'm so serious. I'm just really, really hot. Every goddamn week on this show, you young girls fuck up your life by breeding babies with these idiots. I don't understand what the hell you thinking. You do it and you see around you. You see hundreds of thousands of women right in your neighborhood. You see thousands, hundreds, whatever, of women who did the same dumb shit. And where are they? In the same boat you putting yourself into voluntarily. You having fancy baby showers and baby reveals and all this goddamn shit. You should be saving your money and putting your little ignorant ass in college. That's what you should have been doing. You balling backwards and you thinking stupid. What you should have done when you found out you was pregnant was head to the nearest state where you could get an abortion. That's what you should have done. And then tighten up your birth control so you don't ever have this kind of mistake happen to you again. Around you, all around you are women who did this. And how is it working for them? Why do you think you need to do the exact same stupid ass shit that they did? I am just so mad. I just don't even know why this letter is affecting me so. I could just feel my blood pressure just pounding in my head. Let me calm down. And you write me because you mad at her. You should be mad at your damn self. That's who you should be mad at because you stupid. You made a bunch of stupid decisions and you chose a stupid man to make the stupid decision with. And so now the stupidity is just compounded. And you better get your ass and you better go to therapy until you get this shit straight. And the main thing you need to concentrate on is not her. Concentrate on why you made a series of stupid decisions and just put your life in a bad situation. Yeah, people can survive. Mothers can, go through college. They can do all this stuff. But just think how much faster and easier and better they could have done it without being settled down with a baby and a dusty ass baby daddy. Kids are expensive as hell. And all these little programs, you little broke minimum wage girls be made dependent on to raise these miscellaneous straight raggedy niggas babies are, the chances of them staying alive and staying around are very slim. So, what they're trying to do is get your kids. That's what they want. They want you to fail so they can put your kids in foster care. And you sitting up there making $5.95 or $7.95 or whatever it is an hour, and you think you're gonna pay daycare and rent and put $5 a dollar in gas in your car that you got also pay for? You think that's gonna work for you? See, the math ain't mathing. You made some stupid decisions here. So as far as you worried about this girl that's sitting at your shower and all this old silly bullshit that you wrote to me about, you need to change your focus and think about how you're gonna raise that goddamn baby. That's what you need to think about. Where's the money gonna come from? While you focusing on this dumb shit here. Put this letter over here. Move on to the next one. Oh my God, I'm just so mad. I need to woosah right quick. Yeah, she don't even understand the lines of problems that she jumped herself into. Just voluntarily, just stupid. That's one thing I don't understand these young girls. And you seen them videos, what's her name? Vanna sent me a couple of videos of these links of these young women with babies sitting there crying into the screen on TikTok and Instagram about how sad their lives are and how messed up they are and how depressed they are and they don't have no money and they're stressed because of the kids and this and that. And I'm sitting there looking at them because some of them have 2 or 3 kids. Okay, one kid is a mistake. By the time you did it 3 times, that's a habit. And then you got baby number 3, you made a fucking lifestyle choice. You just want to be breeding milly-nilly miscellaneous. Every man that you sleep with, you want to have a baby by him. And then you have the gall to be on social media crying about it. You ought to be embarrassed. You made stupid decisions, own them. And get off the internet and get a second job. That's what you need to do. Oh, my God. Yeah, just crying, just crying. It's so hard. You didn't know that the first time? You did it again. So it could be double hard. Let me move on before I have a stroke here with my blood pressure shooting up. Yeah, they be just crying all on the screen, just booing, just getting on my goddamn nerves. Question number 5. And I was going to try really hard not to cuss. Well, there goes that dream. Question number 5. Female. I mean, you know what I mean? It's like my thing here is if you want to go and have these miscellaneous clowns babies, then do that. But don't write me asking me about telling me about none of the problems that come from that. You chose to do that. You did that to yourself. So once you did something stupid like that, it's going to crawl. No, don't bother my nerves with that. You take that problem on over there to that clown that you made that baby with, and y'all work that out. That's what grown folks do. Anybody who's not grown enough to do that, then keep your legs closed and your birth control tight, and that won't be a problem that you have. It's that simple. Oh, my God. Question number 5, female, 20 to 34, from Brampton in Canada. I never heard that was a new one. Summary of issue. My aunt's coming to visit is from California. How do I tell my significant other that she's coming? His job has been offering overtime on top of salary, so he's practically working every weekend, usually at our kitchen table. We were home last weekend and gone this weekend. I usually just hang out at the apartment doing nothing as I don't have a car or any friends since we moved last year. My aunt, my dad's sister has been wanting to come visit us, and she asked if she could get a hotel or if she could stay with us. I told her it was up to her. She said she'll stay with us and buy us a nice dinner as a thank you. I figured it'd be nice to have something to do while my significant other works. She's coming the weekend of the 11th, so that's coming up. What's today? The 10th. I talked to my mom today because I have to buy an air mattress, and I asked her which one she had. She immediately is like, well, why is she staying with you? And basically saying that it's weird that my aunt is staying with us and that I should tell her to get a hotel because my significant other will feel like he cannot do work at the kitchen table with us there. I immediately felt bad and realized I should have okayed her coming with him. He was at work yesterday, so I couldn't ask him, and then I forgot last night. But you can't text now? That's all y'all want to do is text everybody about every dumb shit in the world, but you can't text them about that. So tell that lie to somebody who might believe it. We'll basically be gone from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. on Saturday, and although my significant other will feel he has to clean up his area, he'd do it regardless if she stayed there in a hotel or an off chance that she comes to our apartment. Did I really mess up? Okay, why can't you get some kind of little table or desk or folding table or something that's big enough for him to work at and put it in a corner of the bedroom or a corner of the living room? Why does he have to use the kitchen table where people need to eat? Okay? Think about that. There has to be some options that y'all could do. Them little folding tables, you can get them at Costco. They're not that expensive. And some kind of little chair, and he'd be good to go. He can even use one of the kitchen chairs. It's just gonna be you and your auntie. As long as you got enough, you got 4 chairs. That's one extra. The main thing here is that that's that man's house, just like it is yours. You had no right to tell your aunt that she could come there and spend the night there without his consent. That's a straight violation. You never do anything like that to the people that do home, to share the home with you. They, unless they're kids, of course, then they don't have a vote. But as other adults, especially that person paying bills in that house too, he has a voice about who stays in his house and who's eating up his food and all of this kind of stuff. I know it's your auntie and all this old stuff here, but that ain't his auntie. So this you didn't do this well. This is going to cause a problem. She might end up be better off for you to say, I made a mistake because he has to work and he needs the space in the house, and we can't be making noise because he's going to be working. So you have to get a hotel after all. That would be your best bet. Because otherwise, like if I was him and y'all's in there giggling and laughing and talking loud and watching movies and stuff, and I had to work and you making a lot of noise, that wouldn't work for me. That wouldn't work for me. It's a suburb of Toronto. Oh, okay. Mary Elizabeth say she only get on the internet to watch this show. Girl, I know you be all kind of doing your silly pose. Looking, huh? Question number 6. I can't believe I'm only on question number 6. I got to stop running my mouth so much. Female, 22 to 27. She's white, from Springfield, Illinois. Summary of issue. I was eating popcorn. I'm finding popcorn kernels everywhere. I am interested in a guy I started seeing recently, but he's become so obsessed with me that I'm starting to lose interest. Oh, a little Klingon. Some weeks ago, I met a really interesting and handsome guy my age. We're both 26. We started talking and everything was great. But then it suddenly started draining my social energy. He's constantly texting me. And if I don't respond, he just sends more texts. I've noticed as well that he's very dependent on me since he says he doesn't have many friends. This lack of confidence and obsession has changed the way that I view him, as he was really charming in the beginning. There was one time which he asked me if I really wanted to talk to him because I wasn't responding fast enough. I do want to continue this, but I just wish he'd calm down a bit so we can take this more slow. It has caused me some severe anxiety. How should I handle this situation? Well, you better than me because I would have already had to cuss him out. What you say is, dude, why do you text me so much? The question. You gonna why? Because you want to know, right? You do. I want to know. Why are you texting me so much? And then he'll say, well, I'm bored, or I, just want to talk to you or whatever. Say, that's really nice. And I understand that. And, I'd like to talk to you too, but not this much. I have work, I have school, whatever it is you got going on. And those things, especially when I'm on the clock, I'm there to do a job and make money for my company. That's what they're paying me for. They're not paying me to text you. So your insistence that I text you back and I text you at certain speed and all this other stuff that you're talking about here is causing me a problem. It's causing me a problem and it's making me lose my attraction to you. When you phrase it to men like that, they understand what time it is. It means the coochie's drying up, sir. It's drying up, and there's no haps if you keep this line of behavior up. You ain't gonna get nothing over here because I'm gonna be losing interest in you real quick. So you have to use those terms, use those words, make you lose the interest and, explain about your time and stuff. And so then he's going to say, well, how much is enough? I want to talk to you. And say, well, that's fine. But you're just going to have to wait until I'm free. You can't keep, send me a text and I don't answer and you send 10 more. That's not going to work. Because pretty soon, like I said, once I lose interest, then this will be over. Is that what you want? He's going to say, no, that's not what I want. I say, well, then, you need to adhere to the guidelines that I'm telling you what's going to work for me so that I'm comfortable. Because, right now I'm not comfortable. Yeah, that's why you get them, though. Shut up, giggle. That was not what I was expecting to read as I continued on down the sentence. I was reading, I'm getting, and then I read the rest. I thought she was going to say like stalker vibes or something like that. Nope, she came out the box. Typical giggle style, just going to just be like, blah, right there. Yeah, I don't know. These kind of dudes get on my nerves. One who used to want to call me, okay. I was working at home because when I was working for Net Noir, right? I'm working at home. But I still like we have, I have stuff to do, right? We was like putting the website together. I had deadlines to meet and chat to book and stuff. I'm on the phone with, these ARs and stuff in New York and everything in California. It's a 3-hour time difference. So, I have to get this done. And he want to be on the phone, breathing on the phone for hours. He was a fireman. So, he didn't have nothing to do at the fire station. So he just wanted to talk, but I need to be off. I need to use my phone because I'm busy. So that didn't work out. He was all in his feelings because I couldn't talk to him, and he was like, "Well, they would have talked to him." I'm like, "Yeah, well, I don't want to talk to you, so bye." So let's move on. Question number 7: female in the 22 to 27 age group. She's European white from Mansfield in the UK. The male in question is in the 28 to 34 age group. Summary of issue: am I being uptight or is my boyfriend taking advantage of me? You know what I found? If you have to ask, that means the answer is yes, he's taking advantage of you. My boyfriend and I, both 26, have been in a relationship for almost a year. I have recently been growing more and more frustrated with him because of his lack of life goals and blatant disrespect for my home and my things. To add more context, my boyfriend technically lives at home but is at my house every day. When we first met, it was great because we were in that honeymoon stage. But as it's grown over time, I feel taken advantage of and used because of how he treats my place. He doesn't technically live with me, so he does not contribute to any household duties or bills. He has a full-time job and does pay for a large majority of when we eat out. He will sit on my couch and lay on all my pillows and throw them off the couch, as well as move my coffee table to his liking and then will get up and not move it back. He will also get himself multiple snacks from the kitchen and won't clean up the mess he leaves behind, like wrappers, crumbs, and drips that leave stains on my white quartz counters, etc. Girl, your place sounds fancy. I even had to establish a rule not to eat chocolate in my bed anymore. Are you for real? Because he was spilling all over my sheets. Most recently, he spilled it on a white blanket of mine. And when I asked him to eat not over the blanket but on a paper towel, he will turn my AC to a low temperature setting resulting in a higher bill, and now resorts to sleeping on top of the covers with a blanket because he refuses to sleep under my covers because I use the top sheet. He said he will sleep under the covers and cuddle with me if I take the top sheet off to accommodate him at my house. If he just wanted his body to be rubbing on your blanket, that's not, no. I have asked him time and time again to clean up after himself and follow the rules I have asked him to follow, and I am met with him saying how I treat him like scum and how mean I am to him. He claims I yell at him when I'm being assertive and trying to put my foot down. By no means do I yell, but he sees it differently. He says I act like he hurt somebody when he spilled chocolate on my bed. And that's upsetting because he keeps doing it and adds extra work for me because I have to keep cleaning my sheets and hope they aren't ruined. When we met, he said he was living at home to save for a house, but I have not seen any evidence of this whatsoever. He spends all his money on sports, gambling, eating out, or golf. I asked him what his life goals are in 2, 5, and 10 years, and he couldn't answer. Instead of addressing my concerns, he basically turned the whole conversation around on me because I'm, quote, mean to him. I told him that I feel like he treats me like I'm his mother or maid, and I'm sick of the disrespect and inability to take responsibility for his actions. He basically said, if this is how I feel, then I should break up with him because that is my choice. He said he will try to be better, but he has said that multiple times before. I feel manipulated and taken advantage of. I don't know how to move forward because of his lack of accountability. The forward that you move is putting all his stuff in a hefty bag that he has at your house and tossing it out the window and then say, get out and don't come back, you dusty bum. That's what you do. You see, this thing just drives me crazy. Okay, you understand that you said this stuff and you said it multiple times, and he still keeps doing it. Why do you keep saying it over and over again? See, this is why people don't listen to women like you, because you just run your mouth. You don't actually do anything. What you're supposed to do is say, look, motherfucker, I told you not to be fucking up my house like this. I don't want to be doing all this work. I'm not a maid. My name ain't Mabel, and I ain't your mama. So you don't seem to be able to get your shit together and think that I'm supposed to be running around behind you, clean up after you like you do. Get your shit and get the fuck out. That's what you tell them. Get the fuck out and don't ever come back. Now let's talk about you right quick, because you did this all kind of backwards. You want to ask a motherfucker about his life goals and shit months and months into the relationship. You were supposed to do that the first week you met him. And you seeing him talking about, well, he's staying in my house, but you haven't seen no evidence of it. Why did you look for evidence of it? Like he should have been showing you a bank book, right? He should have been talking about the neighborhood that he was living in. Here's what the price is of the house that he can afford. What his mortgage banker said that he could, what he qualified for. Those are the signs of a man who's really serious about doing a goal like buying a house. He has some tangible evidence to prove it. But no, you just let him fill your head with smoke and mirrors and let him stay at your house and do all the stuff because you thinking he's got all these goals that he never proved to you one bit. See how you let yourself get played? You did that again to yourself. You girls got to get smarter. And you ain't staying in my house running up no bills in my house. I'm gonna be holding my hand out like this. And it's like you just ran up my PG&E bit. Well, here in California, it's PG&E, Pacific Gas and Electric. But whatever it is, whatever state you're from or country, well, I forgot where you said you're from. But wherever it's from, the light company, the power company. Okay, you just ran up the AC. He got a full-time job. Say, here, this is your bill. You pay it since you like to run the AC so much. That $300-400 that he paid, that he ran up. Oh yes, you're definitely paying for that. And he want to eat up all the snacks. You give him a list of shit to walk in the door with next time, or you gonna get nothing. That's how I had to do my husband. It's like, oh no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. You want to be eating and drinking a bunch of stuff here, you gonna bring it. I can't afford to be feeding you and stuff. I mean, if I invite you one time, you just be hanging around here all the time thinking I'll be funding your entertainment. Motherfucker, think again. It ain't that kind of party. Yeah, he's gross. And you can just imagine if he's nasty like that, he's gonna be having like all kind of little critters crawling on her stuff, trying to eat up them crumbs of food and them crumbs of chocolate and stuff like that. Girl, you better get out of there and get him up out of there before been. Didn't you guys see that movie where Michael Jackson did the soundtrack? That was the creepiest movie I've ever seen in my life. Oh, it was like a zillion rats just moving and just wiggling. It was just gross. The soundtrack was the bomb though. But yeah, girl, you gonna have Ben and them gonna be coming up in your house looking for some snacks, and you better get him out of there. Ooh, that movie with you, yeah, and Willard, same thing. That was like big no. So you better get him up out of there. This guy's a loser. What are you even writing to me about him for? You should have been writing like, Dad, let me tell you about this dusty bum I just dumped. That should have been the letter that you wrote me. This is a fool. Question number 8, female 22 to 27. She's a Taurus, African American from Virginia in the U.S. The male in question is also 22 to 27. Summary of issue. Is men mimicking you a red flag about that person, or am I giving off bad vibes? Mimicking. Are men mimicking women a red flag? I think so, but let's see what you have to say. I find that my coworkers, male family members, and even the guy I was once interested in would playfully mimic my voice often. The men I was interested in would mimic me whenever I would stop or randomly. My cousin happened to meet him when we were in the same college course, so we would see each other often. She convinced me that this was a red flag. It makes me very self-conscious. I'm wondering if my personality is giving off bad vibes. It's like they don't take me seriously. I respect everyone and have boundaries with all my professional and personal relationships. I used to be shy and avoid conversations. In the last couple of months, I have been more outgoing. I don't avoid conversation. I don't get anxious around people anymore. But male coworkers imitate me. I avoid them at all costs. They will start talking in a high-pitched voice as I walk by. Coworkers speaking in their version of a girly voice And male customers do this as well. I can't stop the customer, but it's childish that coworkers do this. I just ignore it and don't respond, but they keep doing it. Okay, well, this is something, this is called harassment, and it's creating a hostile work environment. These are behaviors are against the law. So what you need to do is go in to report it first to your supervisor, your immediate supervisor, and then see what they do about it, because this is inappropriate. Professional, I mean, they should not be behaving like this at work. And what you can do about boyfriends is dump them. What you can do about family and friends is cuss them out and get rid of them too. Nobody should be mimicking you. Like that's a form of bullying, taunting you and trying to make you feel bad about something that you really can't control, like your voice. You didn't mention what kind of voice you have, but I'm suspicious that it's either a very soft, very timid, kind of high pitched, girly sounding voice, or, yeah, I can't imagine what else it would be. But yeah, that would be my first suggestion, is that you go to your job HR and report it and tell the boss to kind of keep an eye out and keep an ear out and listen and watch for it. Say, this has been going on for months and I don't understand why. It's like I'm being picked on and bullied at work, and it's affecting my self-esteem. It's making me feel like I can't even talk, because of everything I say they're going to mock me. And it's like, this is workplace bullying. That's what that is called. Look it up. You can look it up, the legal terminology, and you'll see the definition of it. And that's what they're doing. There's like a pack of wolves bullying you to try to make intimidate you and make you feel bad about yourself. So my thing is, I don't know. We don't know what she didn't say what she sound like. And she might not sound like anything, but people just want to bully you, and men tend to do that in a pack mentality. Like one or two will do it and the rest will join in. They have that pack mentality. You can't think independently to save their damn lives. Instead of joining in with the real man in the group and say, look, y'all stop doing that. That's totally inappropriate and unprofessional. She's a coworker and you need to treat her with the same respect you would treat me. Try that shit with me and see what's going to happen to you. So you treat her the same way. Shut that shit down. Now, if a guy was really a leader, that's what he would do. So you know how they talk about, well, we're natural leaders and this and that. No, you're not, because every time somebody does something stupid, here you are jumping in doing it too. That means you're a follower. You're not a leader. No leader would behave in such a way. Leaders behave in a way that makes people admire them, respect them, and want to be like them. When you act like a fool and you got people with you acting like a fool, it's just a bunch of fools together, but ain't nobody really a leader. So that would be my suggestion to you, young lady. Take it to HR first, and then all the people in your personal life who do that to you, get rid of them. When the customers, you can very well say, you talking to me like that, I know you think it's funny, but it's not. It's very inappropriate. Let's maintain our professionalism while we're conducting business. If you're not, I'll get someone else to help you if that's too difficult for you. You have to set boundaries with people, and you have to speak firmly to them, and you have to practice, enunciating these words and saying them. I don't know. Like I said, I think the missing link here is what kind of voice you're using here. That's something that might have helped me give you a better answer. But that's the bottom line. Your customers, you can shut that shit way down. Because if they're not gonna act right when they talk to you, then fuck them and don't send them to somebody else. You don't have to help them. They just have to be helped, but don't have to be you. Your manager can come do it since they want to act so stupid. Okay, let's move on. Question number 9. Female 22 to 27 age group from Colorado Springs, Colorado. The female in question is also same age group, 22 to 27. That's our most popular age group. We've had the most relationship drama, it seems like. Summary of issue. My girlfriend is trying to talk about my trauma. I'm 22-year-old dating a 23-year-old female for almost a year. So two girls. We had a breakup recently, and then we got back together. During the breakup, I told her about the childhood trauma that affected me till this day, and it somehow affects our relationship too. After I told her the story, she has been asking me about the trauma every single day. She says she's trying to help me heal them and hope I will write my healing down every day and maybe share it with her. Today, she told me that she felt like I didn't trust her enough, that I never try to lean on her to ask for help. She said, you never come to me and say you need me. You need my help. You are scared. You are confused. You are sad. You want to rest. trust still isn't on that level. Your trust was only about you telling me more stuff than you did to others, like what did you eat in a day. I felt very uncomfortable about her asking me and trying to ask about my trauma constantly. It feels too heavy for me to have this conversation every day. I'm willing to share about my new founding of myself, but she seemed like she's wanting some more. Anybody in this situation? Yeah, go off on her. Say, look, I told you that because it was part of what I feel, what I'm going through and why I feel like it's affecting our relationship. I don't want you fucking ask me about it every day. Your ass ain't not a shrink. You're not a psychologist. You ain't nobody who could help me. Okay, so just butt out of my shit. Now you want to stay in this relationship, you talk to me just like a person, but you try to demand that I become vulnerable to you and tell you all this stuff. It's never gonna fucking happen. Trust is the kind of thing that you have to be built. That has to be built over time. You sitting there trying to pick at me every goddamn day is making me hate your bitch ass. Now you say something to her like that, she'll leave you alone. But you seem to be the soft spoken kind, and so that's why she feels okay with continuing to hound you. But you're gonna have to rise up and check her. So you keep talking to me like that, now not gonna tell you that. I'm not gonna talk to your bitch ass at all because this shit here is gonna be over permanently. Leave me the fuck alone. Okay? She's not gonna like that. But this is the kind of thing that you mistake that you made was telling her. I done told y'all, you don't tell people this kind of stuff. You know who you tell? A shrink, a professional, a doctor, a psychologist, a licensed clinical therapist, a licensed clinical social worker, someone who's in a position to have resources who can help you. She just some little silly bitch that you dating, the same age as you, so she'll have no more life experience than you. That just wants to get off all in your Kool-Aid so she has something to be hounding you about and use against you later. That's why people want to know about your trauma in detail. She even wants you to write the shit down. I can't believe she was so bold. She want to write down so she can pull it out and beat you over the head with it. Yo, look, you said this happened. That's why you're acting like that. Well, this is why you don't, they want to use it against you. So in the future, hear my words. Don't you ever tell nobody who's not a licensed professional that you're paying about your trauma. You keep it to yourself. Okay? I mean, it's fine. You can tell me because I'm not, even though I'm not a licensed professional, I'm still not the type to run around and tell people's business. But in a situation, I'm warning you. What you did, you thinking that you're just going to draw her closer to you and you're sharing information is going to make your relationship better and all that stuff. It never works like that. It never works like that. Never. Okay. I've been doing this for 30, going on 32 years. Can you believe it? Next month, 32 years. And I have yet to see somebody revealing a trauma for it in their relationship for it to work. I haven't seen it yet. Not one time. So, it always comes back to bite them later. Even if the person is okay with it at first, by the time they have a fight, it's used as a weapon of war. And don't let them get a divorce or break up. Oh boy, that's when it all comes out. So you heed my words, those of you who have big mouths and want to be, well, I told my man, I told him about the time I was assaulted and I told him about my childhood and I told him, you stupid. You stupid. Tell a shrink or don't tell nobody. Okay? Remember that. Not even your mother, because some of these mothers are raggedy too and want to be telling stuff. Today, husbands and lovers and boyfriends and whatnot, they want to tell your business to them. Don't even tell that bitch. Question number 10, female, 22 to 27 from San Antonio, Texas. The male in question is in the 28 to 34 age group. Summary of issue, my husband of 7 years cheated on me. Girl, this is a show for single people, but whatever. My husband of 7 years cheated on me, Deb, and now I don't know if I should leave him or not. Well, before we even get into this, let me just ask you this one question here. What is it that you imagine is going to happen in a relationship where he gets away with having cheated on you? Let's just reframe this. That's my favorite thing to do. He did what he wanted to do, right? In your relationship where y'all took vows because you married. This is like, this is the real deal here. Y'all got married, so y'all was all in the church, justice peace, whatever you was at, making all these wedding vows and promises to each other, which he reneged on. Okay, so now it's the whole new ball game. What a part of the contract that has been violated do you imagine you still have in operation? What is it that you think is going to change once he knows, well, I can cheat and she ain't going nowhere. And it's, I just talk a little shit and cry a little bit and then right back where I was. Okay. So you think about that as I work through the rest of your letter. What is it that you imagine is going to be different if you stay? What lesson will he have learned by you staying? How's it going to improve your relationship by him cheating and you staying? Those are reality check questions that you need to ask yourself, okay? So let's move on. We've been together for 7 years. We were long distance for the first 3.5 of our relationship while we were in college. We went to the same school, so we would be together during the school year, but during breaks in summer, we were long distance. We got engaged and married shortly after he moved across state to be with me, about 6 months after he graduated. While sorting through old photos of his, trying to find cute photos of us at the beginning of our relationship, I found that he had cheated on me for the first half of our relationship. The whole time we were being long distance, he was cheating on me, and even when he first moved to be with me, shortly before getting engaged, he cheated on me as well. But what I have found out, it seems like it has been about 2 to 3 years since he cheated on me the last time, but now I'm stuck wondering what I should do. I've always said that I would leave if I found out my SSO was cheating on me, but it was from years ago, from what I can find. So I don't know what to do now. Should I try to go to therapy and work through it with him, or should I just leave? I'm so worried now that he will cheat on me in the future, or that he may be cheating on me now and he's just hiding it better. I don't know what to do. Well, you said at the beginning of the relationship, when you guys were long distance, single, and a lot of people build that into their long distance relationships. Well, what you do, you over there, and what I do over here, we're not going to talk about it. So, I mean, but maybe that wasn't your thing. But a lot of people know that, people get lonely, people get horny, and they make that freedom space in their long distance relationship. Okay, so then you got married, engaged, and you got married. And then you found out that shortly before getting engaged, he cheated on you again. So now it seems like all this cheating took place before you guys got married. Do you have any proof of them cheating since you got married? Because I hate to say this, but my thing is, y'all was single. Did he really cheat when he was a single man? I mean, I know most women don't agree with me. Well, but y'all wasn't married. He wasn't even engaged. He wasn't living together. Nothing. There was no even semblance of a commitment. It was a long distance relationship. So yeah, you're right. You do have a decision to make. Do you take what happened before you got married and apply it now, or do you looking to see if he continued in that vein, or if he stopped because now he takes his marriage seriously and he's not trying to. He got all that other system before you got married. So that's a decision that you're gonna have to make, because we're gonna have to touch down and talk to him, or you're gonna have to do some more digging to find out. I think if it were me, I would probably want to do a little digging, and then if I found anything that showed that this behavior continued after we took our marriage vows, it would be over. What he did before we got married, I don't know. I can't really fault him for that, girlfriend, because he was single, and so were you. I'm just saying. I know a lot of people don't agree with my. No, but we had a commitment. Okay, yeah. So they've got some comments for you in the chat stream. So take a look and see what they have to say too. Question 11. Female, 22 to 27. She's Caucasian from San Diego, California. The male in question is in the 28 to 34 age group, so he's a little older. Summary of issue: how do I deal with my fiance's annoying inability to state what he wants or if he likes something or not? Me and my fiance have known each other for 8 years, dated for 5, and he's always said, quote, I can instead of I want, and quote, it works instead of it's good. An example, if I ask him if he wants to go out for dinner, he'll say, I could go for dinner. And if I ask him if he likes the food I made, he'll say, it works instead of it's good. This has always annoyed me, as it makes me feel like I'm making him do stuff against his will, or that what I want to do for him is just functional. According to his standard, I can never get a yes or no as an answer to do you want question, and getting him to say something is good is close to impossible. He has stated before that he says those things as meaning that he wants to do whatever I want or think it's a good idea, and that it works means it's good. I've explained my point of view to him on multiple occasions, but he just can't seem to change this. Now we're planning a wedding as well as raising a puppy. And this has become even more of a problem due to the stress. His manner of speaking makes me feel I'm pushing things on him. He was the one who said we better start planning. He wanted us to decide on a guest list and pick a venue and so on. It's not like he doesn't have opinions. I have tried to get him to express himself more clearly, and I honestly just feel so done when the food works or he replies that he can go with X choice to my suggestions. It's not that he doesn't have opinions or preferences, it's just that he can't seem to express them. When he says those things to me in front of other people and strangers, I, I honestly feel they think I'm the overbearing, pushy girlfriend and he's my doormat of a victim. It does make me feel very insecure. I'm so tired of feeling like I'm pushing things on him. I think I am reacting stronger than usually, as it's just a lot right now. I feel so alone, and all I want is for him to express any want or need or opinion, not just in regards to planning, but to everything. Do you know how frustrating it is to put hours into making a good meal only to get it works? I can't count how many times we have had these conversations since we've been dating, and I'm horrified that this still bothers me as much as it does. So am I. You're not gonna like what I have to say to you at the end of this. I'm hoping my annoyance will die down after the wedding, but I honestly hate going through the planning process like this. How do I approach him about this in a way that will really get my feelings through to him? Or is it just nerves and me overreacting? I'm not sure I can go through with planning a wedding like this, and I've started to wonder how I'd handle things never changing. I've tried calm and honest conversation where he seems to get it, but half of our talks just has him brushing it off and saying it's not a big deal, and that I know what he means anyways. It's infuriating. Sorry for any errors in spelling. I just had to get this out of my system and ask for advice. Girl, you stupid. First of all, this is a grown ass man. You already know his personality and you keep pushing him to change. It's not going to happen, chick. This is who you want to do. You can't talk to the man you feeling all frustrated and annoyed and all this whole shit here, and yet you still planning to marry him. You stupid. Okay, if this bothers you to that extent, you should never marry him because you're going to go crazy. I mean, like straight jacket crazy because you too wound up. You want something that he's never going to give you because it's not his personality. This is a very easygoing man. Okay, most women, the kind who like to make decisions, would love a husband like this, because he's like, whatever, you like it, I love it. That's the kind of personality that you're dealing with here. He wants he you could, it's hard for you to understand because in a lot of situations I'm like that too, because I really don't give a shit. If it makes you happy, I'm fine with whatever you pick. I'm not gonna put my energy into that. That's what he's telling you, and you just don't want to accept it. He doesn't care. If he's like, yeah, I could go for some dinner. Yeah, I am kind of hungry. Okay, but is it a need for him right that moment? No, because if it was, then he would get up and fix himself something to eat, or say, babe, I'm hungry. I'm going to get, you want to go get something to eat? But you asked him, and so he said, well, yeah. I mean, I'm gonna eat soon anyway, so yeah, we can do that. She just don't get it. Well, yeah, she wants, but she wants a different man. She wants a man who's got an opinion. And guess what? As soon as you get one, every opinion he got, he gonna want everything his way, and you're gonna be writing me back mad, wishing you still had this dude. There's something to be said for a man who just, yeah, that works. Everything that he's saying is positive. He's not negating anything you say. None of your ideas are being shot down. He's not being mean about nothing. He's just not giving you the exact wording that you want to hear. But there's nothing wrong with your relationship. There's nothing wrong with his approach. It's all you. You want something else, and I can't figure out for the life of me why you need to hear these specific words. I mean, if obviously, if he's doing it, the answer that means is yes, right? That's like a toddler. You don't have any kids, so let me tell you how this is gonna go. You have a 2-year-old, right? 3-year-old. Usually, it's like 18 months to about two, maybe 2.5, because they're getting their little language skills, but not that great. And so one of their favorite words to say is no. No about everything. No. My daughter would be like, you say, you want a cookie? No. As she's reaching for it. Obviously she wants a cookie. But if I listen to the words, then it would be like the answer is no. But I'm going by her behavior, that means the answer is yes. And that's the same thing you got here. He's going along with what you like and what you want and what you want him to do, because he doesn't really give a fuck. He wants you to be happy, and so he's just going along with it. It's not putting him out. It's not inconveniencing him. It's not, making any problem for him. So he's like, yeah, that works. That works. That's what that means. It's a positive. So I don't really know what advice you're looking for. Like you trying to force him to use these words and stuff. And I'm telling you now, don't marry him if that's that important to you. If you can't let this go and just be happy with the man that you got, then don't marry him. The number one thing about love is acceptance. If you got somebody that you keep wanting to change to be something else, then you don't love him. You love the vision of what you think he can become. When you love somebody and you really love them, you accept them exactly the way that they are. If they change, that's great. But if they don't, that's great too. If you go into a relationship demanding that somebody be different to please you, well, then you're not loving that person. You on some fantasy trip. So you need to check yourself before you move forward any further with this wedding. But see, my thing, if she's not going to change, he shouldn't change. That's his personality. She doesn't even understand the benefit to having a man like this. Because you know how many do we get? They mad because your bra and panties don't match. Your nails have to be a certain way. Your hair, you can't wear this style and that color, and you can't wear a weave. And I mean, they just have so many opinions about every goddamn stuff. These things not even their business about women and what women do and what you should say and where you should go and what you should and shouldn't eat. They just have a fucking opinion about everything, and then nobody want to hear all that shit. And she got a guy who's like, yeah, babe, whatever you want is fine with me. It's wonderful. And she mad about it. So just, I don't even know what to say to girlfriend. You just gonna keep on. You'll understand this when you get older. I don't know what it is that you're looking for from this man, but you ain't gonna get it. So whatever it is you need, you better go get it from somebody else before you get married. Question number 12. This is a young man in the 35 to 41 age group. He's African American from Oakland, California. Summary of issues. This 37-year-old woman I'm dating's breath smells so bad that I want to throw up. Didn't we just have a letter about, like this was a woman talking about a man's breath? How do I tell her in a polite way? I'm seeing a woman who's in her late 30s, kind of casually. I mean, we agreed that we could use each other's company because we don't have shit else going on. We've talked for about a month, but have spent long nights together twice. Her breath smells like something crawled in her mouth and died there. It's really bad. Otherwise, she's mostly pleasant. How do I tell her disrespectfully to handle it? It's so bad, I don't think I can hang out with her if she doesn't address it soon. I remember somebody talking about something called tonsil stones. I had never heard of it, right? So I started looking it up. I think that was you, Silver Screen. And I looked it up and it was kind of gross. But the way that people described it, like you maybe have some kind of little infection and got caught, and so your body balls it up, right? And then of course it's bacteria. It gets the smell. It could be that. It could also be that she has a cavity that needs to be addressed. It could be that she's constipated. It could be that she needs a floss. It could be that she brushes her teeth but not her tongue. It could be a whole bunch of stuff. It could be that she's got something going on like a sinus infection. I mean, something with a medical problem. But whatever it is, this is gonna be hard, dude. Because at her age, especially when everybody wearing masks, you can tell when your breath is funky because you be about to kill yourself because that air come back on you in that mask, and you be like, "Oh Lord, what is going on?" But I don't know. You're gonna have to ask her. It's like I was really having hope, but we're having this problem. She's gonna be like, "What?" And you're gonna have to say, "My problem is your breath." Why your breath stink? What's going on there? Do you have a sinus infection or something? What's happening? When's the last time you've been to the dentist? Is she gonna get offended? Most likely. But better for her feelings to be offended than your nose. That's the way I look at it. Yeah, yeah, cavity. That's what I'm saying. Cavity will do that. But uh, console stones probably don't drink enough water, really. Yeah, I had never heard of it. Yeah, it could be all of those things. She ain't flossing, so she developed gum. It be so many different things. But a trip to the doctor and a trip to the dentist would solve like 99% of them. So it's gonna be one of those. You might have to suggest that, but other than that, dude, I can't tell you. I'm not touching this. I wouldn't say because she might turn violent. Are you ready to get cussed out? You might do that too. You better do it over the phone. Your breath is humming. I couldn't do it. Question number 13, male, 22 to 27, he's a Gemini from Portland, Oregon, and he is Caucasian. He says, summary of issue, I have a question for you ladies. Say you're single and you meet a man who doesn't check all your boxes in looks or physicality, but his personality is amazing and the chemistry between the two of you is electric. Can the chemistry override attractiveness in the long run? In other words, can you stay interested in a man based off of the energy alone for the long term? That's difficult. Um, I don't know about check all your boxes in looks or physicality, end quote, because those are the things that are going to make you have the chemistry. When you first look at somebody, that's all you know about them is what they look like. Something about the way that that person looks is what triggers attraction. You know, the door has to be opened for the attraction to even start, like to get a foothold. Once you find out, and after that, it can go either way. Either the person says something rude, insulting, negging you or something stupid, or he's married or whatever. And so then the attraction dies. Or, the little, just like a little ember of attraction, right? Because you like, dude, it's fine. Ooh, what's really going on? What your name is? And then you get more information, and then the ember bursts into flames, and then that's the attraction that you're talking about. But for everyone, it starts with something about that person that you find attractive. Is I don't know. For me, it used to be dudes who was tall, that had bow legs and dimples. I'll follow your ass anywhere down the street like a stalker. It was with tight jeans and boots. Oh my God, that was just like the walk, like the Denzel walk. When they roll with the shoulders and stuff, I just thought that was just so fly. And when I was young, I thought that was just the best. And so you certain things that catch your eye, and then of course you want to see what else is behind it other than what caught your eye. And like I said, either the attraction's going to grow or it's going to die. So your question is, a personality definitely could be amazing, but I'm telling you, unless there's something about that person that you find physically attractive, that starts that ember growing, then it's not going to happen. So I understand what you're trying to ask, like if you can just be an ugmo and just have chemistry with somebody and it's going to work out. No, even if if you're ugly to one girl and beautiful to another, that one who you're beautiful to is the one who's going to be attracted to you. So in a situation like this, you can't just expect everybody, to be based in your getting with you based on your personality. If she's not attracted to you, she's not attracted to you. It's just that simple. So stop thinking so hard. You're overthinking this. Question number 14, female, 35 to 41. She's African American, a from a Leo rather, from North Carolina. The male in question is 42 to 49, also African American, and he's the Sagittarius. Oh, that ought to be interesting. That ought to be interesting. Girl, Listerine would be like throwing up his hands, like I can't do nothing here. Okay, summary of her issue. I'm turned off by his goofiness, she says. Oh, this ought to be interesting. Hey, Auntie Deb. Thank you, Candace, for choosing my letter. I've recently started dating a gentleman that checks well, no, she didn't say all, I said all. Most of my dating green flags. The thing is, I'm a city girl and he is country. I've never been attracted to the class clown goofy type of dude. He's attractive, but when we're out on dates and talking, he is so animated, it makes these faces that are so ugly and goofy, it takes away from his attractiveness and turns me off. He would be so much more attractive if he just was much more smooth with it. What should I do? He is a great guy and I want to keep dating him. What are some ways I can grow my attraction to him if he keeps making these goofy faces? Should I say something to him? Yes, you're going to have to. You're going to have to ask. I mean, see, my thing, I always want to know, people do stuff and they always have a reason. We don't know what his reason is for doing that and making all them stupid faces. I mean, maybe that's how he got attention when he was younger, from family and the elders or whatever. And now he don't know how to turn it off. Could be something as simple as that. That worked for him when he was a kid. And so he continued doing it because it worked. And he got the desired payoff. Because I say people don't do anything. Everything that we do it for a reason. There's a benefit to us in some way, shape, or form. There's something we're going to acquire. We're going to get something that we want. And that's why we do that thing. So for him, this he'd have to tell you what it is. I can't even imagine. But you have to say, you know how I don't know, pick some movie where the guy was like, had the the straight face, and and say, when men look like this, they're just so sexy because they just look so masculine, and you look mysterious or something. And then you say, but this, show him a video of himself and say, why do you do that? It's just you're just being all extra, and it's just not cute. And see what he says. Because that would be a good thing to do. Do a video of it, because maybe he doesn't know what he looks like. You know what I mean? So he's doing all this stuff, and you just filming on. You got your phone down here. There's my little stapler, right? You just got your phone, and you looking like you looking in it, right? But what you're really doing is filming him making all them zillion stupid faces, and then show it to him later and say, "This is what you look like versus what, a man that women find sexy look like. What do you think?" And see what he says. Because I'm telling you, there has to be a reason from his past why he's doing this. It's not a behavior that a grown man just adopts overnight. This has been with him for a while. What you need to find out is the reason why. And once you find out the reason, he can see when you realize that that's not necessary anymore. You can get attention in other ways now that you're a grown man, and you look good. You got a job. You got a little muscle on you and stuff. You're tall. You're dark. You're handsome. What you don't need to get that kind of attention anymore. So stop it. But that's going to be a journey that you're going to have to take. But I would suggest that filming him so he can actually see and hear himself. Because I'm betting that he's, I mean, who's going to look at themselves doing what they do in the mirror like that? Very few people. So I'm sure he's never seen it and doesn't have any clue what you're talking about. So that would be my first step, is to film it and then start the conversation and show him what you filmed. Okay? So see what happens. I'm so nosy. Tell me. Question number 15, female, 35 to 41, African American, Aquarius from Baltimore. The man in issue is also Black and Aquarius, and he's older, 42 to 49. Okay, well, y'all kind of on mature tip. Let's see what's going on here. Summary of the issue is, what type of game is this? I want my living boyfriend to leave. Okay. We've lived together for 6 months. Shortly after I told him to leave, he brings up the relationship and says that if he's not living here, he doesn't know how we are going to be in a relationship. Instead of him leaving, he wants to work on things. But Deb, I don't want him living here anymore. I've tried to make it work, but I just can't. And then she puts bullet points. He just snored. He snores loud. On his side of the bed, I keep seeing brown, white, flaky booger crumbs. He leaves lights on in the house, in the basement, in the kitchen, in the living room, the hallway, and the bedroom. All the lights are on. He used a space heater for hours and broke the electrical sockets in the bathrooms. He parks in my parking pad instead of on the street because he does not want anyone to break into his car. Or what about yours? He calls me selfish because I won't let him use my stuff, tablet, laptop, or drive my cars. I even use a roll of the toilet paper that I bought. Go girl, wait. Yes, Deb, I made him go out and buy his own toilet paper. He tells me I need to compromise a little on some things. I got fed up and locked him out of the house. I told him to go stay at his mother's house. He put me on speakerphone, and his mother said, "You don't need to stay there. That's a bullshit situation anyway. You live in there and don't have a key. Pack your shit and you can stay here." After that, he pulled on my heartstrings, and I ended up letting him back into my house without a key. He used the keypad to my front door. He does not have any mail coming here. Girl, you better get that dust bucket fool out real quick. Okay, you lost me on the booger crumbs. Booger crumbs? I know. This is funny. But girl, no, I mean, I know you. This was funny. We laughing and stuff, but it's a serious incompatibility. You told him to get out after six. Shortly after he moved in. Why did you not make him do that? Why you let him stay there till 6 months has gone by? What you're gonna have to do is change your code on your keypad, pack all his stuff up in hefty bags, and then when he comes knocking, you're gonna put it on the other side of the door. If you have some secure place where he can't get in the house to put it or something, I don't know what the story is there, and put all his shit there, and then tell him to go get it, and that the relationship is over. So he want to know how you're gonna keep up the relationship if he moves out. That's the whole point. We're not. You're useless. You're a bum. You're dumb, and you just wasted my resources. You good because he would have been paying the light bill for real. You were turning on all the lights. That's a $400-$500 light bill. No. Not doing it. I would rather be in sweatpants. I walk around my house with sweats. You know why? Because PG&E went up on the rates, and I have a thing. I'm not paying over $75 a month for the power. I'm not doing it. So I walk around in sweatpants and some little Ugg boots and a knit cap and do all of that before I turn that heat on. Extra higher than 68 degrees. I'm not gonna do it. Plus, it dries your skin out anyway. If people come in my house, they'd be like, I can see my breath. I'm like, well, you could leave. You don't have to be here. It's purely optional. I can give you a sweatshirt. But you don't run up my bill to keep you warm. Go to your house and run your bill up. Why don't you do that? Question number 16. Female, 22 to 27. She's African American, a Pisces from Stockton, California. The male in question is 22 to 27 as well. Summary of issue. My boyfriend has been harassing me to terminate the pregnancy the past 2 weeks. Did you not hear my rant earlier? That's what you should do. This should not even be a discussion. Over a month ago, my ex-boyfriend and I had the hugest argument ever over my pregnancy. He doesn't want the child due to him having good things going on in our lives and felt like a child would mess us up and be a burden. After a lot of back and forth arguing, there was nothing I could do but end the relationship. You could have done something else. You could have gotten an abortion. You in California. But somehow that didn't even become an option. Okay, let's see what other stupid decision you made. The argument consisted of him begging for me to get an abortion and me being harassed about my choice and him bribing me with money, him emotionally manipulating me getting blocked on social media as well as my phone number. And the first few weeks of the breakup, I wasn't coping well, but after today, I started to feel better about him leaving me. Today, I had an ultrasound and I saw my baby for the first time, and I cried so hard when I saw it. I saw and heard my baby's heartbeat. I took pictures and posted them on Facebook because I was so excited. But a few minutes after I posted the ultrasound pictures, my child's father started calling me, messaging me on Facebook, and calling me from his mom's numbers. I was confused because just over a month ago, he blocked me because I decided to be a single mom. So I answered the phone and he literally starts fussing at me saying he saw the pictures and he told me not to keep it and I'm not ready. He told me that he wasn't ready and he told me to abort it and he said I was messing up my life and he just called me to harass me once again about this baby. He told me that I was keeping the baby so I can go around town telling everybody he's a deadbeat. I don't know how to handle this and I need some advice. Oh, you don't know how, like I said, you about to do some stupid shit. You 22 to 27 and you just want to just be a single mama. That's you can't think of nothing else to do with your time and your money and your life than breed a baby with somebody who don't want one and already told you he's not gonna be fucking with you or that kid. Still think this is a good idea. See, I don't understand what you guys be thinking. You do the kids a disservice like this. You already know going in that the kid is gonna be, like in a bad situation. You know this. And you early enough in the pregnancy that you could do something about it. I don't understand why you want to do this to the kid intentionally. You're thinking about yourself. You're not thinking about the life the child's gonna have. And you don't talk about what kind of job you got, what kind of money, and where you would live, and all this old stuff here. Can you even afford daycare? You talking about I'm gonna be a single mom? Do you know how much daycare is? So you can work and keep paying your bills. You dreaming, chick, unless you balling like 9,000. You better put some pencil to paper and figure this shit out because I think, and then you thinking about getting some child support for him. The child support is like, if you get $300 a month, it's a fucking miracle. Mostly it's like $75, $150 at the most. That's enough, I don't know, pay the medical co-payments or something, I suppose. Buy some diapers. That's about it. So, you can't really be dependent on him. And plus, yeah, boyfriend. And he's not even that now. The kid's not even, you barely pregnant and you already split up. This is a hot mess. This is the stupidest shit that anybody could ever do. And all y'all little girls be doing this dumb shit too. It just drives me crazy. I feel sorry for the kids. Got two dummies for parents. Well, no, he's not dumb. He's dumb and that, y'all didn't do your proper birth control, but shit happens. But then that's why they have all these other options, the morning after pill, birth control, terminations. There's things you could have done to make this not happen, but you didn't do them. And you want to set yourself up. You want to write me and try to complain about him. I think he's right. You're the one that's being stupid. Question number 17, female 22 to 27 from Patterson, New Jersey. Summary of issues. I have some insecurities about dating an older guy. I'm 26 and I recently started dating a new guy who's 32. It's the first time I've dated someone with this much of an age gap, as in the past I've always gone for guys who are my age or maybe even a year younger. We've had 2 dates so far and we click really well. I think I'm starting to like him. However, I can't help but feel very inadequate compared to him. He has a prestigious job at a very successful company. He has his own place, which he isn't renting but actually owns, and is extremely well traveled. On the other hand, I'm still in grad school due to a minimum wage internship, and my living situation is that of sharing an apartment with 2 other young women about my age. Even though he and I have great chemistry and many common interests, I can't help but feel like I'm not good enough or accomplished enough for him. And I worry that sooner or later he'll lose interest in me and want someone who's more of a similar stage in life to him. Are my concerns valid or am I just overthinking this? And if it's the latter, how can I stop feeling so insecure? Okay, you say you're in grad school. At some point you finish grad school and you'll get a really good paying job and you'll be more of a part of him. But you're not there yet. You're 26. So what was he doing at 26? You see what I mean? You're comparing yourself. You're comparing apples to oranges. You don't know what he was doing at 26. And so, I don't understand why, you're on a path to be greater later. Why are you putting yourself down? And why do you think that because he's got a better job and owns a condo or whatever, that he's so fucking magnificent? Girl, you tripping. My thing, I don't give a fuck what you do, where you are, what money you got, or nothing. Nobody on this planet is better than me. And if I'm blessing him with my presence, then he ought to be bowing down on his knees, blessing to Buddha and Allah and everybody, in joy and in pleasure that I'm there. Instead, you over there beating yourself up, talking about, oh my God, he doesn't want me. I'm not good enough. I can't even think that thought. I've never thought like that, ever. Never. I mean, I'm sure some people probably thought it about me, but you know what? I didn't give a fuck. Because what they think doesn't define me. You are beating yourself up. He's not even doing it to you. You're doing it to yourself. I suggest that part of your, you got some health insurance, invest in a few sessions with a therapist so you can get this shit together, this negative mindset that you have about yourself. Is terrible. You always feel unworthy. Even though you're doing all this wonderful stuff. You know how hard it is to get into grad school, and then you know how hard it is to complete it? You should be patting yourself on the back just for that. But instead, I'm not good enough. He's good. Don't worry about what he's going to do. Men don't get with women because of their degrees. That's not why he's going to. That's nice. You know what I mean? Like if a guy's a professional and he runs in that kind of circle and he can introduce his wife as Dr. So-and-so or attorney so-and-so or, some business owner or something like that. That's nice. But that's not why he's going to pick you, and it's not why he's going to not pick you. That's not why men get with women. He's going to get with you for how you make him feel. Now, you sitting over there feeling all insecure and like, you're not good enough, you're not going to make him feel too good. So the dumping would happen, but it wouldn't be because he made the choice, because you did that to yourself by making him feel, well, if she don't believe that she's good enough for me, then I guess she nice. She knows better than me. That's where he's going to go with this. And you're going to get dumped, and it would be because you did it to yourself because you don't believe in yourself. He sees something there to ask you out, not just once, but twice. Why don't you roll with that and stop picking yourself apart? It's just ridiculous. It's just crazy. Okay, question number 18. These letters tonight are exhausting. These people are just wearing me out. Female 22 to 27. She's European from Bel Air, Maryland. Summary of issue: my boyfriend is trying to blackmail me. My ex came across some pictures of me after he factory reset my old phone. It was locked as my little son would use it to play with. He then took photos of those pictures and kept them on his phone, even if I told him to delete them. Some of these are varying levels of kink, nothing illegal or anything like that. Okay. What are you doing? Why would you have some shit like that on a phone that you gave a kid to play with? What is wrong with you? Why would you married and these are some old pictures from you doing some freak shit with some other dudes? Why did you keep them on the phone and then keep the phone? You just set yourself up to be fucked over and caught. Okay, you don't have no kind of criminal mind at all. Just okay. So I contacted the child support about lack of payments from him. They obviously contacted him, so he rang me up and gave me abuse down the phone. He is also trying to buy a house at the moment, so he wants a divorce. Basically, after calling me every name under the sun, he threatened me with showing these pictures to my family. So his attorney to the social worker, even though it doesn't involve our son, and ruin my life by ruining my character if I don't give him half the money for the divorce and drop the child support case. What do I do? I was thinking about calling the police to put a stop to that, but I have no idea what they can do. At the same time, I don't want to not do anything as he is incredibly abusive and manipulative. So I wouldn't put it past him to actually do something. Any advice would be appreciated. Well, tell him to go ahead. I mean, what's the problem? See, this is the thing about it. When you're gonna do freak shit, you need to be proud. Either you take real good precautions to lock that shit up like it's in the national treasury, or you just roll with it because you were stupid and you did some shit you didn't have no business doing. That's gonna be what you're gonna do. So you're just gonna tell him go ahead. It's girls on OnlyFans doing that, and they're making money. Ask him how he plans to get paid for the images. And y'all could both come up. You letting him stress you. You need to flip the script on it to make it, to make it be bothersome for him. And then you could tell him also, it's like, you could do that. You could do that. And guess what? Because see, I'm thinking like you're thinking if you do that, that they're going to give you custody of the baby, and you won't have to pay child support. But what's going to happen is they're going to give you custody of the baby, and your life where you think you're going to be hoe hopping and just going around dipping and having, oh no, that's going to come to a sweet halt because you're going to have a toddler to take care of. You're going to have to pay daycare. You're going to have to do all the stuff that I do. And you think you're gonna be having time to date and fuck around? That's not gonna happen, son. Your life, your wings are gonna be clipped the fuck off. That's what's gonna happen to you. And so yeah, go ahead, do that. So that they can shoot down me as the mama and make you take care. And that would be a great day. Then I could be on the beach on the beach in South Florida or in South of France, even better, and just send right to you a check for child support and be on about my life. That sounds like a good plan. Do that. Put them up. Let's do that. So you take all the wind out of his sails. You letting him threaten you with some stuff. I'll be like, motherfucker, go right ahead. I like make sure you do the good shots to show my good side. Okay. Make sure you show them well. Make sure the lighting is good and stuff like that. Clear. Straighten that shit up in Photoshop before you upload it. So it's been like nice and clear so people see all sides of my ass. Let's do that. I don't know. I just wouldn't be too bothered. Like I said, if you're woman enough to do that kind of stuff, you got to be woman enough to take any repercussions that come with it. So you sitting up here worrying about it and all that stuff, you better flip that script on him. If you don't have no game, that's your problem. How you gonna be like that in Bel Air, Maryland? In Maryland, you don't have no game in Maryland, girl. I wish somebody would. Like if I'm not gonna do that because I'm too suspicious. I don't trust any man with any images like that. But if I did, and I was bold enough to do that, that would be my approach. I wanted to do it, and so I'm not ashamed of it. So you just go right ahead, help yourself, knock yourself out. And then when the court says, "Oh, you're not good enough to be that child's caretaker or mother," we're giving him to the father. I'ma laugh my ass off because your life's about to be ruined for the next 18 years, and you would have done it to yourself trying to get me. That's what I would do. And he watch him drop that case so fast, he'd be like, "Oh shit, wait a minute. I didn't think about that. I wouldn't be able to get no tang tang. I'd have a baby with me all the time. Oh no. Oh Lord." Yeah, girl. Don't worry about him. Question number 19, male, 22 to 27. He's white from Knoxville, Tennessee. Summary of issue: I am always attracting girls with a lack of confidence. I'm not sure why, but I find that I'm always attracting very physically beautiful girls with a bright personality who have a major lack of confidence. Maybe my appearance or my chubby cheeks makes me look more nice and trustworthy. I don't know. But I always end up attracting girls who has a major lack of confidence. Any advice on this? That that seems to be, most of them in your age group, 22 to 27. They don't have any confidence. They have no self-esteem. It's just ridiculous. No spine, no boundaries, no nothing. I don't know who's raising these girls, but it's just a sad, sad, and sorry state. When the young men start writing in asking what the fuck is going on, it's really a problem. Okay, it's really a problem. So I don't know what to tell you, young man. It's something I've noticed for the last, I don't know. I mean, I feel like low self-esteem amongst young women is like epidemic levels. If it were a disease studied by the Centers for Disease Control in Atlanta, it would be a fucking epidemic. That's how many people are suffering from it. Why? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Like you said, they're physically attractive, but there's something missing. There's belief that they're good enough, belief that they can do what they want to do. The confidence and belief in themselves, it's just not there. They don't. They everything they do, they doubt. That they have the right. Am I okay? Should I feel like this? Even Reddit has this big old forum like, am I the asshole? Everybody writing in trying to figure out if they're the asshole, asking complete strangers. Why you give a shit if they think that you're the asshole or not? I wish I would write something like that. Because if they said I was an asshole, I'd be like, good, because that's what was my goal. So nice to see y'all agree with me. But I mean, seriously, young women just, they're looking for all this validation and checking in, and they got everybody be okay with what they do and what they wear and how they speak and who they're dating. And I mean, just they need all this outside propping up, and that is low self-esteem because you should be able to prop up yourself. Nobody should be better at making you feel good about yourself than you do. So if you're not able to do that, you're not capable of that, you're always down on yourself, please get some help, get some therapy for that. There's a reason why you feel that way about yourself, and you need to uncover what it is and fix it so you can live a full life. Because otherwise, you're always going to be fretting and worrying and feeling like you're not good enough and stuff. It's an awful way to live. I can't imagine that. So, yeah. So, I don't do that. As you can tell, I'm just as confused about it as you are. So, I don't really have an answer for you. Sorry. Question number 20. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Dearborn, Michigan. Summary of issue: no, I will not lower my standards. This is a rant. I hear this all the time that women are too choosy, that they want the moon and have nothing to offer for it, and that if you want to be with someone, you have to lower your standards. I hear this all the time as a black woman. Okay. The truth is, though, I've already had that kind of relationship, the one where I did absolutely everything to make it work. He didn't make money. That was okay. I've got enough for both of us. He didn't have time to plan dates because of his job. That's okay. I can bring the romance. I was best friends with his family, with his friends, was intimate with him regularly, worked out, had my own hobbies, my own life, and made sure he was a big part of it. He still cheated. He still criticized everything I did. He still brought my self esteem down so low that I honestly did believe that I was worthless. So no, I will never lower my standards of wanting a partner who has emotional awareness, emotional maturity, ambition for his future, and is cognizant of his past. I will not lower my standards of wanting someone who communicates healthily, who works through his trauma, who wants a partner to build a future with. And if you tell me that I'm asking for too much, that no one will meet these expectations, then so be it. I would never tell you that here because I've already had the relationship with someone who doesn't genuinely know or love himself, let alone know or love me. And I'd rather be by myself. Let me just add, I know plenty of people out there are saying that this is not what people mean when they say lower your standards. We're talking about requirements tied to looks or money. But unfortunately, in my experience, I met plenty of people in the dating world who thought that these, quote, basics was asking for too much. Therefore, I'm my vent. I'm hoping I'm wrong and maybe I just had a string of really bad dates, but based on some of the responses I've read online and heard from women in my personal life, I know I'm not the only one out there being told that their basic requirements are too high. Well, yeah, I mean, we hear that all the time, like you point out, especially as a black woman. They want us to settle like for any kind of dusty cretin there is just so we can be married because of the statistics floating around that black women are the least married demographic in the country. But quiet as it's kept. We're trying to figure out what's the benefits. We've had this conversation many times, whole shows on it, as a matter of fact. But women are like, well, what's the benefit of getting married? I don't really see one. I got all my own shit working for me and it's fine. I'm happy. I got everything I need. Tea on demand. Just be like, hi, what you doing tonight? Think about throwing some steaks on the grill. I have some lobsters. Want to come over? Dude be like, yeah, I'll be right there directly. Let me jump in the shower and get myself cleaned up. Cleaned with a T. And there you go. An evening of fun and laughter, and you don't have to be married to it. It can get up and go home. So, I don't see any reason to settle. If your life is full of stuff, and you don't have to settle. I mean, you trying to settle because you want a man here, a black man, or whatever. I mean, you better get your ass a passport and go somewhere. There's black men of other cultures. You just have to have a black man. But, there's men of other cultures that would be interested in you too. They're looking for a nice lady who's got her shit together, who knows what she wants. Avail yourself of that option. Okay, let's move on to question number 21. This is a young man in the 22 to 27 age group from Independence, Missouri. Summary of issue: was I wrong to cancel a date because she came off as desperate? I'm 26 and I matched on the swipey thing with a 26-year-old woman. We scheduled a date pretty quick because I don't like to talk on the apps a lot, and I'd rather meet in person and see what the vibes are after that. Good. That's a good way to do it. I'm a bit out of her league. Oh, you are now. Well, let's hopefully you say more about that. But decided I'd give the date a try anyway because I didn't have any plans the night that we scheduled. I asked her for her number over the app and she gives it to me around 10:30 Wednesday night, and our date was scheduled for Friday night. I don't text right away because I'm about to go to bed, and usually when I get a number after sundown, I'll just wait until the next day to text. But Deb, at 8:30 the next morning, I get a message from her on the app saying, "Are you going to text me or not?" I text her on my first break at work an hour later saying I was going to text her around lunch. I work under the underground and no signal most of the day. She said sorry for being pushy and that she hopes that I like texting a lot because she does. I wait till I'm home from work and I text her saying I'm done and ask her how her day has been. She proceeds to send me an entire wall of text that takes up my entire screen about her very uneventful day. I really didn't know what to say and was kind of turned off at this point. I don't reply for 2 hours and she texts me again saying sorry if that text was just too much. I just wanted to talk before our date, which totally took me off the fence at that point, considering she now has apologized to me twice for behavior before we even meet. I texted her back saying, I'm sorry, but I don't feel like going anymore. I don't really like texting. Best of luck to you on your app dating adventures. It's totally fine to want to talk before a date, but just don't be annoying about it. Like, let's just FaceTime for 30 minutes the night before or something. And if you're pushy, at least commit to the bit. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. It's so much less attractive to constantly apologize for being pushy than actually just being pushy by itself. Well, I have to agree with you there. She was doing her same thing and then apologizing when she saw it didn't land too well. And I think you did the right thing because if she was all acting all this clingy and demanding before you even went on a date. Just imagine what it would be like if you went on a date and you actually kissed her or did the do with her or something. Man, she would feel like she owned your entire soul. You were smart to move on from this before it even launched because she was just doing the absolute most. Are you going to text me or not? Demanding. And then sending people a wall of text. So she expects you to respond with another wall of text back to her. Like everybody got time to be sitting around texting all the damn time. I think you did good. But see, this is when you find situations like this, it lets you know why people are on dating apps because their social skills, they're all fucked up basically. And this is the stuff that you uncover. These kind of weird behavior patterns, these personality defects, these emotional disorders that people have, is just a bit much. And it comes out. So somebody who's astute, not letting themselves get love bombed at all, caught up in the clouds. You pay attention to what messages that they send and how they come across. You weed out the fools real quick. He did a really good job. I'm proud of him. I wish you ladies would do stuff like this too. When you scream, you see the dude is like throwing up some red flags. Just dip out, deuce out. You don't have to go on a date. You don't have to actually go. Dude, take a lesson from dude. He did a good job. Question number 22. Female in the 22 to 27 age group from the UK. The male in question is also in the 22 to 27 age group. Summary of issue: he's on a diet and I am not. My boyfriend is 25, 5'11", and 205 pounds. He has a gut and has been trying to lose it through exercise and being in a calorie deficit. I'm 22, I'm 5'6" and 100 pounds. Ooh, girl, are you anorexic? What's going on here? I am too skinny, bony actually, and need to eat more rather than skip meals like I used to. We are long distance and I have just come to stay at his place. Stay. Does that mean visits or you moved in? That's you. That. He has been increasingly irritated, upset with me, the fact that I want to eat 3 meals a day plus intermittent snacking. He will eat two at a push, two small portion meals, and will claim that he's full. He told me I could use his kitchen to cook whatever, so I cooked a 3 egg omelet and some bacon for breakfast, and then he lashed out and became very passive aggressive with me, saying, when my son is here, we eat together and do not eat or make meals alone like you just did. We certainly don't use our phones while eating. I was jet lagged, and this was my lunch appetite. I was very taken aback. However, it has now become apparent that whenever I cook for myself, he becomes frustrated, commenting on the portions, which are normal, or that I need to eat something simpler like a sandwich instead of a pasta. He has called me selfish for eating snacks like Lay's in front of him, and that it's unfair that I do it in front of a person genuinely trying to lose weight. But I need to gain weight. I am bony. I want to try Chick-fil-A as I don't have it in my country, but he has banned me from eating any of that kind of stuff and made me feel really guilty for even suggesting it. But he drinks a lot, a few beers a day. I keep telling him that what's making him not lose weight, but he shifts it to my cooking, which is very healthy. He buys his son junk food all the time and says he can eat it because he's a kid and I'm not. I feel guilty for eating around him and have anxiety attacks over cooking and scared of passive aggressive remarks. I now don't eat breakfast because I was made to feel so bad. How do I go about confronting him and tackling this in a healthy way? You get your plane ticket and you put your shit in whatever the UK version is of a hefty bag if you and you get ghost. You go to where you can feel safe and healthy. It sounds like you already have problems with food. Okay, you've been skipping meals and stuff like that. It's led to this like loss of muscle and lean tissue and extreme loss of body fat. That's not healthy for a young woman. You can't even have regular menstrual cycles if you're too underweight. Your hormones are all jacked up. You need to eat. Okay, he don't need to eat because he's over there looking like a porky pig. So when he starts talking about what you don't eat, say, motherfucker, you the one that's a 200-pound billy goat. I'm not me. I don't have nothing to do with me. I'm gonna eat because I'm skinny. I need to gain weight. You are obese and you need to lose weight. So what applies to you don't apply to me. But what I'm gonna do so I can eat in peace and get my weight back up, I'm getting the fuck up out of here. That's what I'm gonna do. So you stay here and you eat your lettuce leaves and your whatever celery sticks or whatever the fuck you and your son gonna eat, and I'm out. And that's what you do. I wish I would let some little plump porkers tell me some shit like that. Like, boy, you better sit down somewhere before I slap some bacon grease on you and throw you on the grill. You keep it up. You be right that tasty with some barbecue sauce. Yeah. Just, this dude. Mm-mm. Yeah. Well, tell him you're going shopping and then go over there and go to Chick-fil-A and eat your fill. This is just sad. This guy, I'm glad you found all this out though on just the trip. So, check when you can return your flight, move that ticket up, and get the fuck up out of there. And when you get on, as soon as you get to the airport, block his number and go on your whatever account you found him on and block him there too. Block him on their email, block him on whatever way he has access to you, block him. Because this is just not going to go anywhere. He's already shown you what kind of control freak weirdo he is. So it's not going to be healthy for you, someone who already has trouble with food. Okay, you need to eat. You need to eat a lot. You need to eat healthy foods, okay? Like avocado toast with a fried egg on top or something. Just that kind of stuff over the course of a day so that you get your calorie count up. But you don't want to, have a whole bunch of stuff like bacon and greasy burgers and stuff like that. You want to be healthy food, but you need to be high calorie food, nuts, seeds, that kind of stuff, okay? That's what you need. Question number 23, female in the 28 to 34 age group from Warrington in the UK. Summary of issue: I think my boyfriend is a walking red flag, but I don't know if I should break up with him or not. Did y'all catch that? I think he's a walking red flag, but I'm not sure if I should stay. Okay, so me and my boyfriend have been together for 7 months. From the start of our relationship, he has always been kind and caring with me, filling me with a lot of love. Recently, I've started to notice some things about him that are a little weird. For example, he doesn't let me wear certain clothes. He doesn't let me drink alcoholic beverages. He usually shouts when we have a discussion, and he makes me feel really stupid. He also criticizes each and every one of my friends, and I think he's trying to take me away from them. I was thinking that, and I'm glad you noticed. I have been in a toxic relationship before, and this one seems healthy, but I really don't know. All my friends have told me to break up with him, especially when I told him that every time I don't want to have eggplant, he makes me feel guilty, and sometimes I end up doing it with anyway, even when I don't want to. There's another thing. I used to love spending some time getting ready to go out, but now I don't want to do that because every time he tells me over and over that I'm way better without makeup and elaborate outfits, and he kind of tells me not to get all dolled up when we're going out. I really don't know what to do. I need advice. You need to pack your shit and leave. This is a controlling, abusive man. You said you was in a toxic relationship before you in another one. Please take some time to get some therapy before you get into another relationship, young lady. You just went from one fool to another. And he gave the pretense of being healthy so he could get you in his trap. And now that you're there with him, he's starting to close on the doors. That's what they do. They want to isolate you. Then they want to change you so that you're not attractive and you feel ugly. So then your self-esteem starts getting attacked because then, they start telling you you're stupid, you're ugly, you don't look like nothing. Nobody would want you but them. I mean, they have a script and you're on the track already. And then, he's like practically assaulting you with his demand that you do it when you don't even want to. You can't even control your own body. He wants to control that too. So I'm going to tell you, nothing about this is a healthy relationship. You are totally misguided if that's what you think. You need to pack your stuff and leave. Get a couple of your friends to come over there and help you get your stuff out so y'all can do it in one trip. It must be a couple of guys because he needs to be intimidated. Usually 3, 4 dudes and a couple of your female friends. So all y'all can grab one item and be out in one fell swoop. Throw him his key and be gone. Stay with a friend or something until you get your own spot. This is it's a horrible, horrible situation. And you talking about red flags and stay with him. Girl, if you don't lead this fool, question number 24, that means we got 2 more questions to go. 2 more questions to go for What the Fuck Wednesday this week. The show is on Wednesday. If you want to get your questions shown on the show, it'll be back on Tuesday next week. This is the instructions for how to do it. Scrolling across the screen at the bottom. Log on to Debsterism.com and click the button that says Get Advice. There's also a link in the show description down below. If you expand that box, you'll see that too. Okay. Either way, we help you get submit your question rather for consideration. We don't promise that it's going to be on. We do try to get most people's question on at some point, but it may not be a month or so. Because Candace picks, she wants looking for some kind of flow or something. Too many letters of exactly the same type. She don't want to put those in there either. So your letter might get pushed to the side for a few weeks or something. So we don't guarantee that it even will be picked ever. But if you don't send it in, it definitely ain't gonna get picked. So you decide. Okay, question number 24. He's a male, 18 to 21. He's mixed race from Toronto, Canada. The female in question is 18 to 21 and she's black. Summary of issues. The fact that I don't get jealous is making this girl super irritated with me. I had a few dates with this chick I'm seeing and we're like hanging out with each other. She's pretty cool and real funny. We're both 20 years old. We've talked about how we don't want to get into anything serious and that is cool if we see other people. We also don't think it's weird if people who are not in a relationship have multiple dating partners. But a few days ago, we met up and she told me that she had kissed some other guy. I appreciate that because if we pursue this, I'd like to know if she slept with someone else, STDs and stuff. I haven't done to do with her, by the way. I didn't really care that she did this and asked if she could see this going any further with the guy. I noticed that she got somewhat irritated that I didn't react in a jealous way, and she straight up told me that she thought it was weird I didn't mind. I plan to meet up with a different girl from a dating app next week, and it's clear that we are meeting for a hookup. I'm not sure if she wanted to pursue this thing with this girl. She's really cool and funny and pretty, like I said, but I'm not sure if this "why are you not jealous" thing is a red flag. I also get the feeling that she's definitely not on the same page on having multiple partners. Auntie, if I do decide to cut this off, how do I tell her without letting her think I swapped her for another girl. Do I tell her at all? When she got irritated, she kind of had a crazy look in her eyes. Little brother man, let me just tell you something here. Okay, you need to practice on your game because you missed the golden opportunity. When she asked you, okay, you say, what did she see going any further? And she got irritated because you didn't get jealous. And you say, why should I get jealous? You ain't my woman. Didn't we just have this conversation where we agreed we was going to see other people? Why would I be jealous of somebody that I'm not with? You getting mixed up? You try to put me in that category? What's going on here? Talk to me. And then she would realize how stupid she sounds, and then you would have been able to dance out of it. But see, you didn't do that. You missed the golden opportunity. When you're in a situation like that, every time you meet the woman, every time you talk to the woman, you need to remind her, we ain't a couple. Whatever way you gonna do it, we ain't a couple. We not together. It's not like that. Those kind of things. You have to say those kind of things frequently because a lot of women give that stuff lip service, but then once they start liking you, they want to put their claws into you. But see, the same thing happens in reverse. So you have to learn to say the things that keep them backed up and in check. I mean, if you want to be bothered. Sounds like, she was looking crazy and stuff. It's time to deuce out on girlfriend because she might start bringing out knives and stuff. So, she sounds like she might not be wrapped too tight. She wants you to be jealous and stuff. You probably should leave her alone. And it's not too much to say, you just met her. You both agree that you don't want to be anything serious, so what's the problem? See, those are all the things you should have reminded her of as soon as she said that. But you didn't do it. You messed up. But you can always do it now and say, it seems like when you talk to her next time, you're going to say, I've been thinking about our conversation. And I'm wondering, just seems to me like you might be getting a little bit too attached or have some expectations that we already talked about that we're not going to have. We agreed to that. So, what is this thing about being jealous and flipping out and getting all cross-eyed because I reminded you that, we ain't like that. I mean, if you want to pursue something with some other dude and you want to be serious with him, I'll fall for it and wish you the best of luck, babe. Invite me to the wedding. But, being you, it ain't that kind of party. When we talked about that, you agreed to it. What's the switch up you trying to do? That's how you would have to do her. And then when she starts stuttering and back, she said, well, I think the best thing, since you trying to jump ship in midstream here, is going to be confusing for both of us. So let's just stop this. I don't think you really cut out for this kind of lifestyle. I think you seem like you need a relationship. And I told you that ain't the page I'm on. I just want to hold around. Use that phrase. I'm just being a bachelor. I just want to hold around. Okay, you quote me. Use those exact words. And she's going to get the Pikachu's face, but it'll sink in. She'll know what that means. I've had to say that to men too. Even though I had no intention of it, you just say it. Although you sound like you're going to really do it. But I didn't feel like doing all that. But I didn't want them to get attached either. So that's what I said. And they just be looking at, you just going to be a hoe. Yep, sure is. I plan to be a good one too. But I see that's a problem for you. So, boop. Yeah, you can't let people try to, put you in a hole you're not trying to be in. Question number 23, male 22 to 27 from Southampton in the UK. Summary of the issue, how to balance being straightforward without coming on too strong at the same time. Oh my God. I like it when the men write, but oh my God, the questions that they send in just like make my brain hurt. Okay, because they want like life-changing advice that's on like a topic that goes across many relationships versus just one relationship. I just need advice on how to avoid the friend zone because it sure seems like I get thrown into it way too quick before I even realize what's going on. How can I behave towards a potential interest to be clear that I am seeing and talking to her and interested in her for the purpose of possibly striking up a relationship and not being just her friend? At the same time, what things should I avoid saying and doing to not be too forward or scare her away? Well, it would start with one of those conversations when people have early on in relationships. Most people want to do that, what are you looking for conversation, right? What kind of relationship are you looking for? That would be the time for you to say, well, I'm dating with the purpose of finding somebody that I could really be with. Now, even though, one disadvantage you're going to have is that males in your age group often say that and they don't really mean it. They just think this is the instant way to get some cooch. So be prepared for the girl to not believe you. Okay, you're gonna have to prove it. So another thing you can, just tell her. It's like, I've been so super patient and being, kind of reticent to state my position with women. So I'm not gonna do that no more. So from now on, if I'm in a relationship with a lady, I'm gonna tell her. I'm not gonna wait for her to figure it out. I'm gonna tell her myself what I want. And she can either say yes to use an agreement, or she can say no. I mean, free country. She can do what she want to do. But I find that, I'm just, hanging out, this called hanging out thing that we used to do when we were teenagers. That shit don't work when you're in your 20s. A woman and a grown man need to make it clear that what's going on between them is romance, a date with something about a future. So that's where I am with it. How do you feel about it? And then she'll tell you. See, you know how manly that sounds? Her heart's going to be all pitter patter. She's going to be like, oh my God, he's so manly, decisive, so firm and confident. Oh, I feel my panties flying off. That's what's gonna happen. But you want to let her know. Okay, so um, another thing you can do, another thing that dudes do, they put too much stock on it. These pickup artist dudes, they call it. I forgot what the phrase is, but basically what they try to do is they want to touch you. They want to touch you. It's like they want to test how you respond to them touching you. Don't ever do that. Don't ever do that. Never touch a woman's body without her explicit consent. That even if she doesn't say anything, you will lose major points. If y'all ain't dating or engaged or married or something, you don't have the permission to touch her. Keep your mitts to yourself. What I suggest you do though, if you guys are going out somewhere or whatever, you hold your hand out like this, like how I can do. You hold your hand out, right? Down like you're trying to, to hold her hand. She'll get the idea of what you're doing. Like you do with a little kid. You hold your hand back there like that, and they know that means I hold mommy's hand. You're going to do that to her and see if she picks your hand up. If you holding your hand out like this and she puts her hand in yours like this, let me get it up here. She puts her hand in yours, then you do this, right? You close your hand around, and then y'all's holding hands. Or you do this right here, and y'all is holding hands. But you hold your hand out, which is an invitation for her to join her hands with hers. You don't just grab her hand. You don't just put your hands on her. You don't put your arm around her waist or around her shoulder. Nothing. You do, the invitation. If you want to hug her, you do your arms out like this, right? You're doing like this. And she, indicating I'm gonna, I would like to give you a hug. And big smile, happy smile, let her know it's good. And then if she wants you to hug, she walk into your arms. You want her to move forward with any kind of action that involves you touching her. You don't be the aggressor. You let her give herself to you. Okay, this is a very important distinction that a lot of men don't seem to get. They don't know that. And the older guys aren't telling them that. You don't go grabbing on women. You don't put your hands on women. You don't touch women's bodies, their butts, their waist, their arm, nothing. You keep your mitts to yourself. You do what I'm saying. It's this low key kind of approach. And then once you get her in your arms, you give her a hug, you keep your hands above her waist, clown. You know, you don't go in for a kiss. If she wants you to kiss her, she'll make it known. Trust me. Some women are more aggressive. They're gonna grab your face, and then they'll kiss you. But you don't try that approach. It's a gentle way for her to, start feeling comfortable with advancing physical contact, and it's more romantic. Okay, girl, Dale. I'm telling you, I know I used to be a dude in my former life. Oh, this is just too easy for me. It's just too easy. But yeah, that's how you have to do it. I was like, well, I don't know why good dudes they just be too aggressive. And it's just a turn off. It's like keep your hands, when you instead of being like welcoming his touches, you running from him and you don't want him to touch you. You're irritated and annoyed. You feel like he's a pervert and a freak and a weirdo. And you don't like him then. Walls start going up. Dudes are so stupid, they don't have no game. And they listen to these people online. They tell them all this stuff, right? And they don't realize they're already turning the woman off by doing that approach. If they did it my way, they'd have more women. But they still listen to stupid dudes who wear black fingernail polish and makeup and stuff. Oh, scary. Okay. Let's move on. I think this is the last question. Oh my God, it looks like a damn book. What happened here? Can I skim this? Oh. Female, 34 to 41. She's mixed race from Tacoma, Washington. Summary of issue. Some old ass 60-year-old coworker asked for my business card under the pretense that he needed my services, but the volume of text I'm receiving from him is beginning to alarm me. I work in a large venue. Over the years, I've become familiar with many of the employees from different departments. By familiar, I mean recognizing the department that they are in, but maybe not their name. About 2 years ago, one of many familiar faces began saying hi to me every time he saw me. He made a point to say my name, which is on my name tag. But while over time, he would linger to inquire more about me. But the conversation always felt safe. He never seemed to be interested in me personally, and I knew that the guy was married. He had a wedding band on. We talked about our faith and our day jobs. These conversations were maybe 5 minutes per occurrence. But one day he asked for my business card because we were talking about real estate, and he said he wanted some information and generally seemed like he wanted to have the ability to reach out because he might have questions. I was like, oh, okay. But the next day he began texting me. I was so caught off guard because the message was a simple hello and have a good day. I just didn't think about this. I didn't think this was appropriate because I gave him my card for real estate, not just to be shooting the shit. I was polite and replied back with the typical thank you too. Well, that was in May of this year, and he now texts me multiple times a day. Sometimes as much as 10 times. I don't respond every time or even every day. I've told him I don't like texting and that I'm focused on my daily tasks. I mentioned this I've mentioned his wife and tried nicely to say that it's not really appropriate for a married guy to be texting someone on a daily basis. But I'm beginning to feel a sense of growing urgency on his behalf. His texts seem to be more controlled, and now he'll just rapid fire them and continue even with no response. He's never said anything out of line or expressed romantic interest in me, but it's apparent that it's there. He's Googled me and asked about articles I've written, and I don't mind, but I feel like he's taking on more interest in my personal life than he should be. How do I approach this without coming off like a jerk? I just feel inside that something's not right. Like his behavior is almost pre-stalkerish. I know this sounds crazy because he hasn't done anything other than text constantly, but it just feels off. I really don't know what to do. Girl, first of all, okay, so this doesn't happen in the future. You give your business card to somebody for business, right? They start talking about hi. That was the moment you were supposed to write him back and say, do not text me with social chit chat. I gave you my business card strictly to talk about real estate and to purchase a house. I'm looking for a commission. I'm not looking for a friend. Okay, you didn't shut it down. You responded, oh hi, thank you. Okay, so now they left the door open. So y'all always do this. You always fucking trying to be nice all the goddamn time. You cannot be nice to men. I don't know how many times I have to say this, especially when you're really young like you. You can't never be nice to them ever. You always got to keep your boundaries up every single time. Boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. That's all you think about. You say no a lot. You say get the fuck away from me a lot. You say, hell no. You say that's inappropriate. I don't like that shit. You say things like that to men at your age. But at my age, they already pretty much trained, and you just give them a look like motherfucker, really, and then they pipe down because they already know, but they've been trained. But in your age group, they still think that you guys don't know nothing yet, which obviously you don't. So that was the first mistake, and you're not going to do that again. Okay, so at this point now, you using all these weak euphemisms and hinting and all this old shit instead of just straight telling them, look, you old fucker. Nobody's trying to be talking to you like that. Stop texting me. Okay? I'm gonna block your number. You keep this shit up. I gave you my card for business, and yet you have yet to buy any property so I can make my money. That's all the money I gave you my card for you to make some goddamn money. Since you're not trying to do that, I'm gonna block your number. Don't call me anymore. But see, you haven't said anything like that. Well, he talked about his wife, so he knows about his wife. He go home and look at her every day. What's that got to do with him bothering you? And since you haven't said no and you haven't said stop, with key words in a situation like this, especially if you want to go to HR and file a sexual harassment lawsuit, you haven't done anything that would tell him that these behaviors are unwarranted because you always fucking respond. You respond and you never say no and you never say stop. Do you understand what I'm saying here? I'm not saying this is your fault, so don't get upset. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that you walked yourself into a trap here by not having good boundaries and by being too nice. I don't give a fuck if you work with, I don't give a fuck if it's your boss. I've cussed out several of my bosses. I don't give a damn. You trying to tell me some shit I'm not trying to hear? Oops. Well, I can tell you to do it, as he says. I said, and then you know what I can do? I can quit. Because I told you no. And when I say no, that you could go to your grave, it's gonna still be no. So if you want to lose me and I can walk out the door, that's fine. But then you're gonna have two problems. Because you're gonna have a problem with the person who didn't do the thing that you're trying to get me to do. Plus you're gonna have to replace me too. So, is that what you want? Honey, that white boy was looking at me all kind of crazy because he was not prepared for that answer. He was not prepared for me to come back like that. He didn't know what to say. He was looking at me all kind of crazy. And I was sitting there and I was doing my head like this, like a puppy, wait for him to give me an answer so I can go pack my shit. And he's like, well, I guess I'll find someone else to do it. I said, that's good. That's what you should do. See, we could have done this yesterday, and then all this problem, this angst and stuff we just had, we wouldn't have had to go through all that. Well, so I'm going back to my desk now. Have a nice day. That motherfucker, you got me twisted with confused with somebody else to think that you're going to be running them. No. So you have to have that same kind of attitude with your male coworkers. You put them in check. You do not let them get away with this kind of stuff. Soon as they do some shit that you don't like, you tell them to pipe down and stop it. If you don't say that, lady, you don't say no and you don't say stop and you don't make any noise that the behavior and attention that they're giving you is unwanted, you're setting yourself up. And when you try to go to HR to complain, that's what they're going to ask you. Well, did you ever tell them no? Did you ever tell them stop? Where's the proof? And you're not going to have none because you never did. You're going to show him all the different texts that you had. He's going to keep because he probably kept all of them. And it's going to look like you're just some buddies and having a conversation. And so he can play that innocent, confused card. Like, well, I don't know why she's saying that. We've been chatting like this forever. And she never said no, and she never let me know that it wasn't warranted. I thought we were just being friends. And see, you're going to look like a fool. You're going to fuck yourself up. That's what I'm telling you. You guys got to be smarter about this kind of stuff. Stop fucking being nice. You cannot be nice to men. You cannot. If you ain't married to them, and that ain't your kid, and even sometimes that's kind of iffy, you don't be nice to them. You be civil. You be professional. You be polite, but you don't be nice. Soon as they get out of pocket, you cuss them out. Soon as they say some shit you don't like, you tell them about themselves. Soon as they be inappropriate, you shut that shit down. And you don't smile and you put some bass in your damn voice and you look them in the eye when you do it. You don't be looking down and talking all, and acting all like you so scared and shit like that. You don't do that. Why do these letters tonight just piss me the fuck off? Well, first of all, he's in his 60s and she in her 20s. You start calling him Gramps, some old fucker and stuff like that. What's he gonna do? It's your old ass trying to get to somebody half your age. You older than my daddy and my grandfather put together. Ain't nobody interested in you and your wrinkles, your gray pubes and your flab, mushy muscles. Dude, you old. Okay? I like young, firm-bodied men. That's not you, Gramps. That ain't you. It's telling me, you need to start wrapping things up here so, you can prepare to go to the light soon. That's going to be the only trip your ass is going on. You ain't going nowhere with me and we not doing nothing. So I don't know. I'd just be so rude. I'm just like, old married men like that. The kid gloves come off. I just feel like I have a license to say whatever comes to my mind, whatever crazy, foul, funky thing I can think of. I will say it to you because you deserve it. You dogging out and disrespecting your marriage. You dogging out and disrespecting your wife. And you're dogging out and disrespecting me. So with 3 strikes, you out. And so once you out, then you out the game. It means I don't have to follow any rules anymore because the rules of the game don't apply to you no more. You just struck out. You see where I'm going with this? So once that happens, you say what you want to say. What's he going to do? Because he knows he was inappropriate in the first place. So anyway, so I don't know. I've just been so tired. This time change thing. Every time the season, the daylight savings time, the back to the when that happens for about 3 weeks, like 2 weeks before and 2 weeks after or so, my energy is just sapped. I just don't have any. So I wanted to do a video. I made some slides and everything. I was going to put lay the voice chart down. I just couldn't do it. I was too tired. But hopefully I will get myself together and do something soon. Other than that, we will be back. Let's see. Next week is this show. We'll be back on Tuesday. The thumbnail looks like that. So you can see it on the upcoming show page and just click the link and set yourself a reminder so you will be here. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe button before you get up out of here. We'd appreciate that. We're still trying. We got about, what, 500 people to go to make the goal of 30,000 by the end of the year. So come on, folks, hit that like and hit that subscribe, and let's make this happen. Share a link or two to any video on the channel. There's like 1,500 videos here, so you got a lot to choose from. And I will see you guys on Tuesday, if not before. Bye-bye.